largest conglomerate in the world? Do you really think I have what it takes?
And Norma Corp. Oh no, he's gonna be way. Dude, Buffaloes are so dumb. This is not your typical magical girl manga. In I Messed Up and Made the Wrong Person into a Magical Girl, we follow Mew, a magical creature that is desperately looking for someone to turn into a magical girl before he gets eaten by a monster. So he runs into this girl who looks like she'd be the perfect candidate and gives them the powers, but immediately regrets it after finding out she's a chain-smoking delinquent. But it's too late to reverse it as the monster just showed up. Even before she notices that she has magical powers, she beats the hell out of it. After Mew explains the situation, she seems okay with being turned into a magical girl because now she's able to vent her anger through beating monsters. Additionally to being an over-the-top story, the fights in here have no right to be this insane. Definitely picking up at LA Manga Cafe and adios familia. This is not your—
While this guy was out hiking, he started to hear the deep sound of ice cracking behind him, which is when he turned around and saw that an avalanche had started far in the distance. Little did he know, though, the avalanche was about to come a whole lot closer, causing for one of the most insane things I think I've ever seen in my entire life. It's important to note that the guy and his group ended up walking away just fine, with no real injuries besides a few bumps and bruises. At the end of this video, you'll see where he hid while this crazy event took place. Check it out.
Oh dear God. So the avalanche happened over here. I dive down into this hole. To be okay. Wow.
While this guy was out hiking,
Samuel L. Jackson, where are you? 152 movie titles. 27 billion in box office. More than any other actor. Here's what you don't know. These are the organizations that Samuel L. Jackson give to. Alzheimer's Association, American Institute for Stuttering, American Red Cross, Artists for New South Africa, Bedford-Stuyvesant Restoration Corporation, Black Economic Alliance, The Brain Trust, Cedars-Sinai, Broadway Cares, Equity Fights AIDS, Carousel of Hope, Children's Defense Fund, Earth Island Foundation, the Hollywood Foundation for Autism and Parkinson's Disease, In a Perfect World Foundation, the Joseph Lowery Institute for Social Change, Magic Johnson Foundation, Spelman College, Morehouse College, NAACP, Legal Defense Fund, National Action Network, Kidney Foundation, Solutions Coalition, the Smithsonian National Museum of African American History, Spelman College, United Negro College Fund, and the Urban League. Samuel L. Jackson, where are you? 152 movie titles, 27 billion in box office, more than any other actor. Here's what you don't know. These are the organizations that Samuel L. Jackson give to. Alzheimer's Association, American Institute for Stuttering, American Red Cross, Artists for New South Africa, Bedford-Stuyvesant Restoration Corporation, Black Economic...
I have a periodic table of elements that are elements across the universe. I know mathematics and laws of physics that apply across the universe. They got here from across the universe.
So those laws would be totally the same on their planet.
Totally the same. So if you're going to start with a language, like this is a cup and this is a fork, this is our elements, and this is, we call this aluminum. We call this, and they will know, and they start to develop a common vocabulary so that you can communicate with them. Because they're not going to speak English, nor French, nor Mandarin, none of the above. I have a periodic table of elements that are elements across the universe. I know mathematics and laws of physics that apply across the universe. They got here from across the universe.
So those laws would be totally the same on their planet.
Totally the same. So if you're going to start with a language, like this is a cup and this is a fork, this is our elements, and this is, we call this aluminum. We call this, and they will know, and they start to develop a common vocabulary so that you can communicate with them. Because they're not going to speak English, nor French, nor Mandarin, none of the above. I have a periodic table of elements that are elements across the universe. I know mathematics and laws of physics that apply.
That's why most of the Celestial Dragons look super busted, but then you have Mozgard who gets a considerable glow up after he starts maximizing his potential. But it's not based on being a good or bad person, because we have Mozgard's relative Doflamingo, who makes most people's knees weak until you remember all of his war crimes. And Oda even displayed this with the main characters. Luffy in a good timeline could end up looking like Garp, or if things go wrong, looking like this old coup. Zoro in a good timeline looks more like Rayleigh, or this bum in a bad future. future. And even Nami in an optimal future ends up not even aging really, but in a bad timeline, she ends up like spoiled milk. And I know some people that would still put that in their cup of tea and gargle it, but all of this cycles back to a core theme in One Piece about puffing out your chest and chasing your dreams with a dawn, which makes the character designs in One Piece so much more interesting because you get to see a different dimension in Oda's perspective of the series, which leads to by most of the
July 14th, 1970, in the 12th inning of the All-Star Game, Cincinnati's Pete Rose bowls over Cleveland's Ray Fosse at home plate to score the deciding run in an exciting 5-4 National League victory over the American League at Riverfront Stadium. Fosse, whose career was marred by numerous injuries, was initially x-rayed and cleared with no fractures, but a re-examination the following year found that Fosse had
Devastating. Virgil, don't do this to me, bud. You gotta decide what you're doing, bud. I'm gonna take you back over there, okay, buddy?
It's a train wreck. Train wrecked galaxies. How do you get to know that galaxies collide? You put in the forces of gravity on a computer, run a simulation, watch it unfold. And there you can recreate the havoc that you see in the universe on 100 billion year timescale. We used to have catalogs of galaxies. So that's a really messed up looking galaxy there.
Well, my first apartment got raided.
Star Wars, The Force Awakens. Here's an observation that
Is climate change an objective truth?
oh yes.
Do you believe in climate change?
It's not a belief. When it's objectively true, you don't have to believe it. It just is true.
I believe in it when it's really hot. I believe in it. If it's like a hot day, I'm like, yeah, you're right.
If it was only determined that way, then another person that was in a cold snap would say, no, I don't believe it.
Right.
And everybody's making up their own theories about it because it's their own life experience. But an experiment takes the information out of yourself.
Okay.
It's not your perspective, it's not your bias, it's not your worldview, and you get all the data available, and then you establish the objective truth. You probably heard the number 97 scientists say it's happening with 3%. In the last 20 years, there are basically no scientists left denying it.
Is climate change an objective truth?
Oh, yes.
Do you believe in climate change?
It's not a belief. When it's objectively true, you don't have to believe it. It just is true.
I believe in it when it's really hot. I believe in it.
They did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces. They told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror, women saw themselves with the scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal self. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination. Indeed, many of them came back with comments that the interviewer had made that they felt were referencing their facial disfigurement. And this is why I think this ideology of victimhood is so dangerous, because if you preach to people constantly that we're all oppressed, then that primes people to look for that. They did an experiment with a group of women, and they put scars on their faces, and they told these women that they're going into a job interview, and the purpose of the experiment is to find out whether people with facial disfigurements face discrimination. They showed them the scars in the mirror. The women saw themselves with the scars, and as they led them out of the room, they said, we're just going to touch it up a little bit. And as they touched it up, they removed the scarring completely. So the women went into the job interview thinking that they are scarred, but actually being their normal. And the result of the experiment is that those women then came back reporting massively increased level of discrimination. Indeed, many of them came back with comments that the interviewer had made.
I love how Oda randomly whips out moves decades later. And I did read somewhere that he actually said himself that he forgets about moves and has to look them up sometimes. But one of my favorite examples is the 28th episode of the series. Right at the beginning, he uses a Gum Gum Giant Gavel, and this was the finishing move to defeat Don Krieg. But the funny thing is, we didn't see Gum Gum Giant Gavel used again until episode 805. Now, if we think about time relative to the story, this was only like 2.5 years. But if we think about time relative to real life, this was a 17-year difference between the two moves. That's crazy to think about, and there's other moves just like this that have the same story. Love how Oda random.
The biggest thing is that I could go stand in any Walmart in America and I would have to take 100 photos if I just stood there for like 30 minutes. Like a line would form and people would just be like, oh, that's the guy from YouTube. So those same people, when they go into a Walmart, will buy my products. You know what I mean? And that's just it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's more extreme than I ever thought. And so before we even been promoting that we were in Walmart, we just put it in there. It was only in a couple of thousands as they were ramping it up, and we were already doing 6 figures. It's kind of shifted my whole mindset. Like retail space, when you have a brand this big, it's just so OP. I think Prime, Happy Dad, and Feastables, I don't see a world where they're not all multi-billion-dollar companies in just a couple of years. The biggest thing is that I could go stand in any Walmart in America and I would have to take 100 photos if I just stood there for like 30 minutes. Like a line would form and people would just be like, oh, that's the guy from YouTube. So those same people, when they go into a Walmart, will buy my products. You know what I mean? And that's just it's kind of a no-brainer, but it's more extreme than I ever thought. And so before we even been promoting that we were in Walmart, it just...
Fun fact, it's believed the CIA has a meme warfare department where they take popular meme formats, repackage them with their chosen message, and then send them back out onto the internet to influence the American people. The US government first became aware of the power of memes back in 2011, and DARPA hired Dr. Robert Finkelstein to research meme warfare and lay out what it would look like. Dr. Finkelstein Epstein came back with a document that laid out how the Meme Warfare Center could be structured, which included this slide that laid out how an organically created meme could then be repackaged to spread the government's chosen message. It's unknown whether the US government ever actually created the Meme Warfare Department, but that would be classified information. But in 2017, as part of the Vault 7 WikiLeaks stuff, folders of blank meme formats were found in the CIA documents. Fun fact, it's believed the CIA has a meme warfare department where they take popular meme formats.
In 1968, a small group of runaway children, hippies, and an evangelic preacher called David Berg created an organization known as the Children of God. Under Berg's instruction, they devoted themselves to both the worship of Jesus and the pursuit of sex. Unfortunately, it was not long before the group developed a more sinister undertone. According to one report, Berg quickly began to encourage incest, and child rape was often used as an excuse to increase member numbers. Along with handing over all of their money and possessions, inductees were taught that the apocalypse was imminent, and in order to get into heaven, they should surrender their bodies to the will of God. The law would eventually catch up with Berg, and he would flee to Portugal, where he died in 1994. His wife and her new husband would assume control, but due to growing disillusionment caused by the lack of an apocalypse, the organization would begin to crumble in 2009. After a so-called reboot, members were told that they did not actually know when Jesus would be coming, and so they should get jobs and leave the communes. This was particularly difficult for people who had no previous experience integrating with society. 1968, a small...
Have you ever gotten Snapchat from a girl?
Nope. Anyway, watch this.
Have you ever gotten...
This star is orbiting nothing. Well, kind of. Astronomers had previously thought that this star was orbiting a black hole, but now some astronomers believe it might actually be orbiting a never-before-seen type of star completely made out of dark gas. Dark matter is this invisible form of matter that makes up most of the matter inside galaxies. We still have no way to detect dark matter itself, but some theoretical modeling would allow for dark matter particles to clump together, forming a dark matter star. These stars would be entirely visible, making them really hard to find. But this could be our best shot. The research is in its early stages, but I will update you as soon as we know more. This star is orbiting nothing.
What the hell am I doing?
Astronomers had previously thought that this star was
Oh, no,
orbiting
no.
a black hole, but now
That's so
some
fucking-
astronomers believe it
might actually be orbiting a never-before-seen type of star completely made out of dark matter. Dark matter is this invisible form of matter that makes up most of the matter inside galaxies. We still have no way to detect dark matter itself, but some theoretical modeling would allow for dark matter particles to clump together, forming a dark matter star. These stars would be entirely visible, making them really hard to find. But this could be our best shot. The research is in its early stages, but I will update you as soon as we know more. This star is orbiting nothing. Well, kind of. Astronomers had previously thought that this star was orbiting a black hole, but now some astronomers believe it might actually be orbiting a never-before-seen type of star completely made out of dark matter. That makes up most of the galaxy.
Did I use it?
No way to detect dark matter itself, but some theoretical modeling would allow for dark matter particles to clump together. A dark matter star. These stars would be entirely visible, making them really hard to find. But this could be our best shot. The research is in its early stages, but I will update you as soon as we know. This star is orbiting nothing. Well, kind of. Astronomers had previously thought that this star was orbiting a black hole, but now some astronomers believe it might actually be orbiting a
medical food.
type of star completely made out of dark matter. Dark matter is this invisible matter that makes up most of the matter inside galaxies. We still have no way to detect dark matter itself, but some theoretical modeling would allow for dark matter particles to clump together, forming a dark matter star. These stars would be entirely visible, making them really hard to find. But this could be our best shot. The research is in its early stages, but I will update you as soon.
Around the year 2000, posts began to appear online from somebody who called himself John Titor. Titor claims that he was a time-traveling military agent on a personal stopover journey during a journey to 1975 where he would collect an IBM 5100 computer that he required to prevent the spread of a major computer virus in 2036. Although you might think that somebody who was engaged in such a project might be somewhat secretive, Titor was happy to explain to his growing fan base things like how a time machine was built and events that would happen in the future. Among these events, which incidentally did not occur at the predicted time and has still not occurred, was another American Civil War and nuclear World War III. Titor would disappear again after about 4 months, but why are people still talking about the story? Well, in essence, Titor appeared online at the perfect time. If somebody tried to carry out such a hoax today, it would be very easy to track them down. Also, he still has a vocal fan group that claims just because his predictions didn't come true, it does not necessarily mean he wasn't a real time traveler, to which we can only say, okay then. Around the year 2000, posts began to appear online from somebody who called himself John Titor. Titor claims that he was a time-traveling military agent on a personal...
This weatherman didn't know his map was a touchscreen.
Hung up just a little bit. What did happen? I can do that.
It blew his mind.
No way!
The whole team loved it.
I gotta try it. What are you on?
That's so cool.
Then he discovered its Zoom feature. His coworker fell to the floor. Tried to get it together.
Our temperatures are warming up nicely this afternoon, but
then he found another feature.
Seriously.
I've never touched it before. Oh my gosh, you can tilt it?
This weatherman didn't know his map was a touchscreen.
Hung up just a little bit. What did happen? I can do that.
It blew his mind.
No way!
The whole team.
Fun fact, for 8 years, a Japanese man dressed as a ninja terrorized Osaka, carrying out 254 burglaries and stealing 30 million yen in cash and valuables. He became known as the Ninja of Heisei. The man would come out at night dressed in all black and would perform incredible acts of athleticism to gain access to buildings. Security cameras observed him running effortlessly on top of walls, squeezing between a 6-inch gap between buildings, and climbing smooth walls. Police pursued him for years, never able to catch the man. Until in 2017, while performing a robbery, the man's face mask slipped, showing his face from a security camera. Police were shocked to see the face of 74-year-old Mitsuaki Tanagawa. Police began following Tanagawa. During the day, he was a normal, unsuspecting 74-year-old man. Then finally, one night, police followed Tanagawa to an abandoned building where he entered as an old man and went out as a ninja. Police intercepted him and he was arrested. After being arrested, Tanagawa said he hated working. The thought stealing was quicker. He went on to say, if I were younger, I would have been caught. I'll quit now, as I'm 74. Fun fact, for 8 years, a Japanese man dressed as a ninja terrorized Osaka, carrying out 200
Actually search.
Oh, see, that big volume that you need to search through. Set that equal to the volume of the Earth's oceans. All that water. So how much have we sampled in the last 50 years? 1 12-ounce glass. It's not a lot. And so if you were looking for fish in the ocean, are there any fish in the Earth's ocean? Here's a glass. I'm going to scoop up a glass and I'm going to look at it. And there aren't any fish in there. Can you claim there are no fish in the ocean?
It'd be stupid to do so.
Yeah.
How much of the galaxy have we actually searched
Oh,
for money?
see, that big volume that you need to search through. Set that equal to the volume of the Earth's oceans.
Okay.
All that water. So how much have we sampled in the last 50 years? 1 12-ounce glass. It's not a lot. And so
2008 Olympics were undoubtedly insane. So insane that it actually led to these suits being made. This is the story of how suits developed at NASA drove the sport of swimming. The 2008 Olympics had countless memorable moments. 19 world records were broken in just 32 total events. From Michael Phelps winning 8 gold medals to Dara Torres winning silver at 41 years old. These suits were able to achieve this by allowing better blood flow to the muscles, allowing the body to be in a more hydrodynamic position, all while reducing drag and increasing flexibility. Outside of the Olympics, 130 world records were broken between the years 2008 and 2009, which led to a governing body of international suits, FINA, unanimously voted to regulate these suits in 2010. Some world records that were broken in these suits still exist today, but they all have footnotes to distinguish them from modern or textile world records. It's crazy to know that all of these changes happened just because 2008 Olympics were undoubtedly insane. So insane that it actually led to these suits.
Can I speak to the devil?
Did you ever notice the left eye symbolism throughout the entire show? Take these manga volumes, for example. They all feature a character with a closed left eye. Also, a lot of characters in the show have some kind of marking on their left eyes. This includes Goofy, Garp, Dragon, Zoro, Shanks, Sabo, and Kid. A lot of people say that all of this probably means nothing, but I don't think that's true. Me and a bunch of other fans actually think that this solves one of the biggest mysteries in the entire One Piece. Okay, hear me out. Do you remember the Skypiea and Jaya arcs where it was revealed that both islands were one island in the past? Well, if you look closely, you'll notice that Jaya has a huge hole where the left eye of the skull is supposed to be. Due to everything we previously mentioned, this also can't be a coincidence, and a lot of fans believe that Jaya's missing left eye is actually Laugh-Tane. This would also make sense considering that Roger's treasure is called One Piece. Did you ever notice the left eye symbolism throughout the entire show? Take these manga volumes, for example. They all feature a character with a closed left.
I've known you were gay since you're 5. I'm like, I'm not gay. He's still, but my whole family's like, you're gay. But like my dad's kind of old school guy. They think my dad thought I was gay because I loved blueberries when I was a kid. Like,
Yeah.
It's that, my dad's an old school guy. Blueberries. Kid's gay. Like I had a stiff neck. It's just getting better now, but I took my kids to Disney and I had a stiff neck. And you know, you get a stiff neck. I was holding my kids all day. And very logical explanation.
Here we go.
Why? No reason to say anything.
Let's see how far I can
Stiff
take
neck,
this.
no problem. My father wasn't with us. It was just me, Jazz, and the kids. And my dad called to check in. He was like,
Okay.
"Whoa, what's up, Chrissy? How's Disney?" I was like, "Ah, it's good. You know, it's having fun. I just got this stiff neck." He was like, "Whoa, are you blowing Goofy?" I was like, "What?" And he was on speaker, so it was like, now the kids are like, "What?" I've known you were gay since you're 5. I'm like, I'm not gay. He's still, but my whole family's like, you're gay. But like my dad's kind of old school guy.
And they're telling the translator, this motherfucker looks like he's never caught anything in his life. And he's like, he hasn't. And to me, I'm an alien, right? They go, he gets his food from supermarkets. What's that? They hunt the food for him. They cut it up and package it and sell it. Like, they don't believe it.
Right.
The I tell them, they're like, hey, you guys, you look like a supermodel. Can I bring you to America and do a fashion thing and get you guys paid? And why would we want to go to America? Tell me what you know about America. Isn't that the place where people jump off
buildings to themselves? Like, that concept is so foreign, and they're telling the translator, this motherfucker looks like he's never caught anything in his life. And he's like, he hasn't. And to me, I'm an alien, right? They go, he gets his food from supermarkets. What's that? They hunt for food for him? They cut it up and package it and sell it? Like, they don't believe it.
Right.
The I tell them, they're like, hey, you guys, you look like a supermodel. Can I bring you to America and do a fashion thing and get you guys paid? And why would we want to go to America? Well, tell me what you know about America. Isn't that the place where people jump off buildings to themselves? Like, that concept is so foreign, and they're telling the translator, this motherfucker looks like he's never caught anything in his life. And he's like, he hasn't. And to me, I'm an alien, right? They go, he
I just thought about something in it's making. You guys know Shadow Clones, right? You split your chakra up evenly, they have all of your abilities, they even have free will. They're one of the most broken abilities in all of Naruto. Shadow Clones, that anything that they experience is reflected back onto the original person who created the Shadow Clone. Once the Shadow Clones disappear, this is why, let's say hypothetically, if your Shadow Clone figures out how to speak Mandarin and they disappear, you now know Mandarin. This is why Naruto was able to learn things like the Rasen Shuriken so quickly, because he could have hundreds of himself working on creating a jutsu simultaneously. However, this is also a double-edged sword, because let's say hypothetically that one of your Shadow Clones uses Reaper Death Seal, you will die. However, if you experience anything your Shadow Clone goes through is kind of inconsistent, because while Reaper Death Seal will kill you, let's say your Shadow Clone gets punched in the face and disappears, it's not like you get punched in the face. You don't take the damage that your Shadow Clones incur. If your Shadow Clones use an MS, you shouldn't take the damage that their eyeballs incur. Why don't more Uchihas use this? I just thought about something in Naruto and it's making...
You've tweeted on multiple occasions about the same subject. You're familiar with what that subject is. The mirror tweet.
In a mirror, you can kiss yourself, but only on the lips.
Okay.
Yes.
20th December 2019. You can kiss yourself in the mirror, but only on the lips.
Yes.
The 12th of July 2013. In a mirror, you can kiss yourself on the lips. 30th August 2011. For narcissists only, laws of reflection require that if you kiss yourself in a mirror, it will always be on the lips. The 23rd of February 2010. You did the same crap. What the hell is this mirror shit all about?
Well, so I would repost a tweet every new million followers that I got, because they wouldn't have seen the previous tweet.
Why is it the
You can
kissing?
survive it.
Why is the kissing tweet about every new million followers? How's your mind?
Well, there are other tweets that were done, but they weren't compiled neatly for you.
What is
in this
the,
exercise?
no, you're not explaining this kissing thing. You've tweeted on multiple occasions about the same subject. You're familiar with what that subject is. The mirror tweet.
In a mirror, you can kiss yourself, but only on the lips.
Okay.
Yes.
20th December 2019. You can kiss yourself in the mirror, but only on the lips.
Yes.
The 12th of July 2013. In a mirror, you can kiss yourself on the lips. 30th August 2011. For narcissists only, laws of reflection require that if you kiss yourself in a mirror, it will always be on the lips. The 23rd of February 2010. You did the same crap. What the hell is this mirror shit all about?
Well, so I would repost a tweet every new million followers that I got, because they wouldn't have seen the previous tweet.
Why is it the
You can
kissing?
survive it.
Why is the kissing tweet about every new million followers? How's your mind?
Well, there are other tweets that were done, but they weren't compiled neatly for you in this exercise.
No, you're not explaining this kissing thing. You've tweeted on multiple occasions about the same subject. You're familiar with what that subject is. The mirror tweet.
In a mirror, you can kiss yourself, but only on the lips.
Okay.
Yes.
20th December 2019. You can kiss yourself in the mirror, but only on the
Time
lips.
to reset.
The 12th of July 2013. In a mirror, you can kiss yourself on the lips. 30th August 2011. For narcissists only, laws of reflection require that if you kiss yourself in a mirror, it will always be on the lips. The 23rd.
All right. Let's go ahead and max that training. We're gonna go on collection spree. Yeah, I'm max another tree, and then I'll go on a spree collecting cards as well. Charlie. I mean, I'm already doing that, might as well. Yeah, I'll go ahead and get that, and I'll do the buried treasures. That, I'm sure there's something I want to take from this as well. Probably the better lot thing. Oh, no, what's this? I got some sledgehammers. Use that as our main damage. And then, just for the heck of it, get that right there. Not that right. Let's see. Where's those sledgehammers? Yes, baby. We'll take the silencer. I think this. The rifle's already got a scope on it, right? Yep. We'll just go ahead and take a bunch of ammo. Let's see, shit my pants. What other, get some other weapons in here. I got the regiments right there. Organizers. Alright. Oh, level 5. Alright, we'll put that back and I'm gonna put that on. Oh, tell me I have food in here. Let's go. Alright. Bullet. Ooh, let me see. What we got? Medical. I think it's stamina regen, right? Take a stack of those. Put that on. Use that later when I go back. Break those. Get some water. Probably should get coffee, but
You realize you were young once.
Okay.
Okay.
So, something really funny is about to happen. You know Luke? Yeah, you think maybe don't get too many and land on one if they walk home. So if I just pretend that I'm getting them done. Okay, I'll go.
What? You realize you were young once.
Okay.
Okay.
So, something really funny is about to happen. You know Luke? Yeah, you think maybe don't get too many and otherwise I have to walk home. So if I just pretend that I'm getting them done. Okay, I'll go.
What? You realize you were young once.
Okay.
Okay.
So, something really funny is about to happen.
If I
I gave you this $100. Would you give me 40 hours of work? Hell no, you wouldn't. And that was the problem I was facing a couple years ago when I had a personal assistant who kept on asking for raises. Literally, every 3 months she asked me for a raise, and eventually I was just like, I can't afford to continue to pay you. I don't have enough revenue to pay you more and more money. And I was like, she's really good. And so I reached out to my buddy Chad and told him the situation, and he was like, bro, like, why don't you hire a virtual assistant? And I was like, what the heck's a virtual assistant? And so he sent me over, it was this course, and it cost about $100, and he just gave it to me because he's an amazing human that he is. And I went through it, and within 3 hours, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. Within 3 days, I had actually hired my first virtual assistant, and then a week later, I hired another virtual assistant. And so since then, I have used this $100 every single week to pay a virtual assistant. I got 40 hours of work from them, and I can literally have 4
I don't fucking know why I heard that dust bomb. I thought that was a fucking creeper. I was like, damn it. I thought it was over, bro. I thought it was over. Let's go ahead and bring up. I should build one right there. I wonder if I could heavy swing the whole time. No, that doesn't one-shot it. Okay. Just up tap it. Swear to God, that fucking sand falling, I can't, whatever the fuck it is, the dirt. God, fucking creeper shit gets me every fucking time. Oh, here they come. They're waiting. Been waiting. Come on down. Come on. Boy. Always waiting. Shit, I don't need to. Probably gonna regret that in a second, but. That? What is that? Nitrate?
Justin Bieber was an absolute megastar, causing teenage girls to rage and riot at just the sight of him. Justin decided that it was time to go on a world tour, but there was only one issue. What lucky country would he kick off his adventure at? His marketing team had the brilliant idea to put it to a poll, letting his fans vote online to decide what country Justin would go to first. Threads on 4chan would quickly begin to spring up, and users would start to brainstorm ideas on where they'd like to send Justin. There were plenty of good suggestions, but one stood out in particular: North Korea. Bingo. Operation Send Justin Bieber to North Korea was underway, and votes began pouring in from anonymous 4chan users around the world. Hours after the threads came up, North Korea would skyrocket past Poland and Israel to reach number 1 in the polls. Success. Justin Bieber was now set to go to North Korea, or so we thought. Justin's team quickly took down the website and claimed that it was a spoof site, which wasn't actually a legitimate contest. Even though the media caught wind of the event, Justin Bieber never ended up performing in North Korea. 2010, Justin Bieber was in...
The Lions are so much more successful in killing than the Wolves that the Wolves just become somewhat lazy, and they'll get in these little packs and they'll literally find a big Tom and they'll just follow him. And so what this cat is doing is scientists have observed him killing deer, and he'll literally kill and cache deer and sheep, so that when the wolves find his caches, the wolves will eat, so that he can go and eat in peace himself. Oh, so he doesn't get fucked with by the wolves. So he's literally doing that while you're chasing him, saying, look, just eat this, leave me the fuck alone. The Lions are so much more successful in killing than the Wolves that the Wolves just become somewhat lazy, and they'll get in these little packs and they'll literally find a big Tom and they'll just follow him. And so what this cat is doing is scientists have observed him killing deer, and he'll literally kill and cache deer and sheep, so that when the wolves find his caches, the wolves will eat, so then he can go and eat in peace himself. Oh, so he doesn't get fucked with by the wolves. So he's literally doing that while you're...
Not enough people are talking about the recent breakthrough in nuclear fusion. I mean, this is one of the most important milestones in the last few decades. So what they did was combine 2 atoms to create 1 or more new atoms with slightly less mass. This process releases a huge amount of energy. It is actually how stars produce their energy. And for the first time, they were able to produce more energy than what they put in. Do you understand what this means? Fusion energy is literally the holy grail of energy production, because all you really need is water to act as fuel, and the amount of energy it can produce is truly unfathomable. Now, it will still take a few decades at least, but this means that we might have completely clean energy in your lifetime. Not enough people are talking about the recent breakthrough in
The oil companies have anything to say about it. Good fact.
milestones in the last... Fun fact, a man in Leicester, Massachusetts was arrested after leaving a perfect fingerprint of some Play-Doh he used to disable the store's anti-theft devices. The man used the Play-Doh to silence the spider-wrapped anti-theft devices that many big box stores use to wrap expensive products with. Other devices work because if you cut one of the wires, the alarm will sound. So the man stuck the Play-Doh over the speaker to silence it, and it actually worked. The thief then discarded the broken spider-wrapped devices behind some other items in the store, but when store employees found the spider-wrapped devices, they called the police. And when the police inspected the spider-wrapped devices, the Play-Doh was still covered in speakers, along with a perfect thumbprint. When the print was run through the fingerprint database, it matched 55 from Dennis Jackson, who already had 2 warrants at first tested in Pennsylvania, but was very well known to the police. Police managed to track down and arrest Dennis. He was charged with 4 counts.
The first concept album I ever knew of, it was Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And I remember first playing that on my record player, and one song just blended into the next. And I remember, at the time, I was tutoring at a prison, and one of his name's Carlos, I remember. And we would just talk. When we weren't doing academics, we just talk. His favorite album was What's Going On, and he couldn't stop talking about it. He was moved by music in this concept album. And from then on, I couldn't shape the idea of a concept album and how important they need to be. Because a musician, you can't tell me, I've got this message I want to share with the public, and it's 3.5 minutes long. That's not, that's not it. If your message is only 3.5 minutes long, we got nothing else to talk about. Because life is more complex than 3.5 minutes. The first concept album I ever knew of, it was Marvin Gaye's What's Going On. And I remember first playing that on my record player, and one song just blended into the next. And I remember at the time I was tutoring at a prison, and one of them, his name's Carlos, I remember, and we were just talking. When we weren't doing academics, we were just talking. His favorite album was What's in the World, and he couldn't stop talking about it. He was moved by
I am the harvester.
Fun fact, his motivations were unclear, but on May 26th, the man kicked in the door at the Sweet Something Bakery in Vancouver. Once he got inside, he walked around for a while, then he sat in a chair for about 15 minutes, and then he used the bathroom. Feeling a bit bad about what he'd done, he then found a mop and bucket and began trying to clean up the smashed glass on the floor, but he didn't do a very good job. He then took some selfies on the store's phone, grabbed a box of 6 chocolate champagne cupcakes, and left. After the story hit the news, the man obviously recognized himself from the selfies and called the store owner and apologized profusely for what he'd done. He offered to pay for the broken door, as well as the 6 cupcakes he had stolen. He also offered to give the store owner the orange sunglasses he was wearing in the selfies. The store owner asked the police not to press charges, and instead created a signature company in honor of the man called the Crime of Passion Cupcakes. Fun fact, his motivations were unclear, but on May 26th, the man kicked in the door at the Sweet Something Bakery in Vancouver. Once he got inside, he walked around for a while, then he sat in a chair for about 15 minutes, and then he used the bathroom. Feeling a bit bad about what he'd done, he then found a mop and bucket and began trying to clean up the smashed glass on the floor, but he didn't do a very good job. He then took some selfies on the store's phone, grabbed a box of 6 chocolate champagne cupcakes, and left. After the story hit the news, the man obviously recognized himself from the selfies and called the store owner and apologized profusely for what he'd done. He offered to pay for the
Why am I
broken door,
searching for
as well
cars
as the
like
6
that?
cupcakes he had stolen. Also offered to give
What
the store
fucking
owner the
retard?
orange sunglasses he was wearing in the selfies. The store owner asked the police not to press charges, and instead created a signature company in honor of the man called the Crime of Passion Cupcakes. Fun fact, his motivations were unclear, but on May 26th, the man kicked in the door at the Sweet Something Bakery in Vancouver. Once he got inside, he walked around for a while, then he sat in a chair for about 15 minutes, and then he used the bathroom. Feeling a bit bad about what he'd done, he then found a mop and bucket and began trying to clean up the smashed glass on the
They can
floor,
do a stack
but he
of
didn't
wood.
do a very good job. He then took
do
some
that
selfies
first.
on the store's phone, grabbed a box of 6 chocolate champagne cupcakes, and left. After the story hit the news, the man obviously recognized himself from the selfies and called the store owner and apologized profusely for what he'd done. He offered to pay for the broken door, as well as the 6 cupcakes he had stolen. Also offered to give the store owner the orange sunglasses he was wearing in the selfies. The store owner asked the police not to press charges, and instead created a signature company in honor of the man called the Crime of Passion Cupcakes. Fun fact, his motivations were unclear, but on May
No, I listen to that
26th, the Sweet Something
YouTube short.
Once he got inside, he walked around.
In the movie Spider-Man, during the World Unity Festival sequence, Spider-Man catches MJ as she falls, and subsequently deploys a web line to swing her to safety. This sequence is in accordance with the laws of physics, as directly shooting a web line at MJ to catch her could result in a severe neck injury, as depicted in the comic book with Gwen Stacy's tragic fate. Therefore, the filmmakers made a conscious effort to adhere to realism and ensure the safety of the characters within the constraints of the story. In the movie Spider-Man, during the World Unity Festival sequence,
Biggest plot holes in Dragon Ball. 1. In Resurrection F movie, Frieza is shown trapped in a cocoon with fairies, despite previously being shown differently in Hell. And Frieza's transformation from his final form during Goku's fight with Boo to his Mecha Frieza form later is also left without explanation. 2. Beerus supposedly killed all the dinosaurs when he last visited Earth. They were terribly rude to him, so he decided to wipe all the dinosaurs. Then how come Goku and Gohan both fought dinosaurs as children on their planet? 3. In the Cell Saga, Goku's warp Kamehameha destroys Cell's upper body, but he regenerates despite his core supposedly being located in his head. This discrepancy is not addressed or resolved in the story. 4. During the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball, some of the angels seemed more deceitful or sneaky. For example, the angel Mahito smiled when his universe was erased, suggesting he had ulterior motives. However, this was not explained. Biggest plot holes in Dragon Ball. 1. In Resurrection F movie, Frieza is shown trapped in a cocoon with fairies, despite previously being shown differently in Hell. And Frieza's transformation from his final form during Goku's fight with Boo to his Mecha Frieza form later is also left without explanation. 2. Beerus supposedly killed all the dinosaurs when he last visited Earth. They were terribly rude to him, so he decided to wipe all the dinosaurs. Then how come Goku and Gohan both fought dinosaurs as children on their planet? 3. In the Cell Saga, Goku's warp Kamehameha destroys Cell's upper body, but he regenerates despite his core supposedly being located.
In 2015, Burger King wanted to partner with McDonald's to make a brand new burger, and their plan was cheese. In August of that year, Burger King published a letter to McDonald's in the newspaper asking them team up to create and sell the McWhopper, a giant burger that was 6 parts Big Mac and 6 parts Whopper. BK wanted to team up with them to celebrate International Peace Day and planned on giving all proceeds from the McWhopper to charity. The idea started to trend everywhere, but when McDonald's denied their partnership, everyone was outraged. As a result, thousands of people were quick to create the McWhopper themselves and post them trying it out. And many other restaurant chains proposed their own Whopper creations to Burger King. And funny enough, Burger King ended up partnering with those chains, including Denny's, Giraffa's, Crystal, and Wayback Burgers, to create a Whopper concoction to sell on International Peace Day. Everybody loved the burger, and the
Is it
entire
worth it?
campaign increased Peace Day awareness by 40%.
Pause for a second for this one. Well, I ain't got level up big baby. Oh, it didn't go up. Nice. Or it did go off? What's going on here? Okay, so it went off. Yeah. Holy fucking shit. Damn, boy. You strong as fuck, boy. Maybe I can do it now. Hold up. I think they are. Damn, I ain't got no painkiller out of that. He spawned so fast. Where's that thing? Yeah, put that back in there. Give me a couple of those. Where's that parking lot at? I didn't mark. Not that building right there, is it? Cars. You know I can't pass up this. We'll search it, whatever. It's not bad. Big kahuna time. Cleared up before it's not time. Oh, level 4. Ooh. was level 4. Okay. Never mind. Bro just came running. Hold off on that one. Jesus. That was the entire bottom. Is this part of that? Am I retarded? I'm not stupid, am I? Crickets. Holy fucking fuck. Damn. That nigga was about to bust. Come on down here. Totally forgot I had the sledgehammer. I'm done. I'm done. Okay. Not very many cars here. Huh. It's kind of shit, honestly. Shit, I'm not even gonna go back up there for that. Fuck that. Hey. Hi. So we'll just have to do it this way. Search this one. To the robot sitting right there. Scrap. Oh, sorry. This place is fucking massive as a bug. It all. Drink it all. Oh look, Optimus is posting the same thing as the 3 people I watch every day. I'm sure Pyro will be making the next video on it.
Here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about what I can only describe as YouTube's newest massive trend. And now this is content that is getting ludicrous amounts of views, and I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this on social media over the last few days, and there's a lot of very split reactions to this entire thing. And so I didn't really obviously know about this going into all of this. Like, I started seeing people slowly post about it, like, hey, what exactly is this? You know, look at this weird stuff that kids are watching on YouTube and whatnot. And usually when you hear a phrase like that, it's like Spider-Man and Elsa doing like narcotics in the bathroom, or like Spider-Man killing people, like just crazy things, right? That like kids honestly probably shouldn't be seeing, right? But this is one of those YouTube trends that honestly, it's confused a lot of people on why it's popular. A lot of people, they see this and it just kind of blows their mind, because like, why is this even popular? Why are people watching this? Well, you may or may not have already seen these videos going around on social media. It's called the Skibidi Toilet, okay? Now I know that immediately probably rings some alarm bells in some of your heads, like, dude, what exactly are we talking about here today? But obviously these kinds of trends come up on social media every once in a while, where some new like meme or something catchy kind of comes along, and like I said, this has led to like some very split reactions, right? A lot of older people especially, and by older people I mean people who are like over the age of 15, are seeing this, and it's like it's just blowing our brains up, where like I remember the first time I saw this, man, and I was just like, what the hell is going on here, right? But I kind of just want to talk about this entire trend because it's honestly one of the most insane blow-up trends I've ever seen on YouTube. Like, there's people uploading these Skibidi Toilet videos, and they're getting tens of millions of views. For instance, one channel known as The Fuck Boom is posting these skibbity toilet videos pretty much like every, I don't know, couple of days. And as you can see, they're getting literally tens of millions of views. Some of these videos within like 2 weeks have gotten upwards of 40 million views, which obviously is just absolutely absurd amounts of views. Like, that is an insane level of views to get. Not even just like over a period of years, right? Like some artists and shit, like Eminem and whatnot, they can get those kinds of views on their videos, like music videos and whatnot. This guy is getting these types of views off of like meme content that he's uploading every couple of days. So this channel has amassed almost 20 million subscribers doing this kind of content, and people are just completely stunned. Now I figure that a lot of the younger people who are going to be watching this video probably have already heard about it and understand this, but I kind of just wanted to delve into this entire thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at, I'll just throw up his most recent skibbity toilet video here for you to take a look at. Obviously, that's pretty confusing, just kind of seeing that one-off video or whatever, but it's actually something that I can't really bring myself to hate on, right? Because, like, there's a lot of people who have seen this and they don't really comprehend what exactly is going on, and their first instinct or whatever has been to just, like, clown it or whatever, and, like, you can find it not funny or stupid or whatever, but I've noticed a lot of people online are, like, I don't know, trying to pretend that they don't understand why this is going viral, and, like, why people, especially children, are, like, watching this kind of content, and I don't really get the confusion on that one because, like, I don't know, I grew up with YouTube, right? And I'm just gonna come out, like, before we even get any further in the video and say, right, this is pretty on par for the type of content that's been uploaded to YouTube over the years, man. Like, there's people that were on Twitter saying things like, oh, man, the fact that these kids are watching these skibbity toilet videos, this is why these kids are all messed up, yada, yada, yada. These videos are fucking stupid. They're just stimulation for the sake of stimulation. Things like that, right? I kind of thought that at first, too, right? Like, when I just saw 1 or 2 clips of it online. And I think that's where the disconnect kind of comes in, right? Because, like, a lot of these kids that are watching this content, right, they've seen maybe even dozens of these videos. Like, this guy's on Skibbity Toilet 48 as of 2 days ago. And, of course, other channels are now kind of picking up steam, trying to, you know, get big off this idea, too. So, like, to the people who've been watching this stuff, like, they kind of understand it. But, like I said, if you see, like, how I did, you see 1 or 2 clips on Twitter, right, it brings up a lot of questions. But realistically, man, this stuff is not that far away from, like, the stuff I grew up watching, bro. So, for instance, man, when I was growing up, right, when I was using YouTube back in elementary school and whatnot, we had shit like YouTube Hoops and whatnot, bro. Like, that was the kind of stuff I was watching. And that's what I don't get about, like, this whole argument about, oh, this shit is ruining your kid's brain and whatnot, right? Like, yeah, I get it's not necessarily high educational content or whatever, right? But let's not sit here and pretend like when we were all kids, we weren't sitting around watching fucking SpongeBob calling people fucking predators and shit like that, right? Like, had fucking SpongeBob calling people whores, had Lincoln Zelda out here doing drugs, right? Like, YouTube Poops were absolutely wild, man. There's some genuine classics in the YouTube poop category, right? So I grew up watching stupid shit on YouTube too. And I gotta say, compared to a lot of the shit I watched growing up, a lot of the YouTube content I consumed growing up, this is pretty fucking tame. Like, this is pretty par of the course, man. This is like generic internet content. Let's just call it what it is. And that's not an insult to the people making this, because it's very clearly something that takes talent to do. Like, these people are, from what I understand, animating this shit themselves. So, like, I don't know, man. I don't really want to sit around and shit on this kind of content, because at the end of the day, right, like, these are people who are, like, animating these themselves. And obviously, right, like, it's also played off a lot of, like, the same internet shit we grew up with. Like, I remember growing up watching Gmod videos. I remember growing up seeing Half-Life 2 characters and stuff like that. And a lot of that same shit is exactly what this whole Skibbity Toilet video trend is based off of and using. I mean, this kind of content is really not any different from what I grew up watching. I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, if this Skibbity Toilet shit was around when I was like 8 or 9 years old on YouTube, man, I would be all also watching this. Now, people, of course, are wondering, well, what about it exactly makes it go so viral, right? Like, what about these in particular are making them just explode? Because, like I said, this guy's got 19 million subscribers on 200 videos, and he's getting tens of millions of views an upload, right? Like, that's insane numbers. That's generational YouTube numbers. Like, bro is out here putting up actual Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant numbers on YouTube videos, right? So, I've kind of noticed a few things in particular about these videos that I think really helps them go viral. The first thing that I've noticed is the length of the video, right? So for instance, like my videos on average are like, what, 10 to 14 minutes long? Well, these videos like very routinely clock in under like 2 minutes, right? And for the vast majority of them, it's not even a minute or a minute and a half that they're that long, right? It's mostly like anywhere from 25 to maybe a minute long.
I'm not even getting this shit because it's
So
like
these videos can be
giving me resources. It's just fucking annoying. I gotta fill in those gaps too. I mean, give me some forged iron. I guess that's a little bit. Okay, man. Okay. Honestly, I'm just gonna fill all the furnaces. Yeah, break the metal spikes. Yeah, fuck it. Oh wait, now we need a crucible in the one. Oh, that was a mistake. Of course, I kind of do want to dedicate a stack to just forged iron. Yeah, that's what I do. I'll dedicate these two. Put these in the output. I really need to grab them right now. Weed. What do you need for a safe? Gun safe. Goon safe. Truck. Springs, mechanical parts. For I can go ahead and put them on. Let's see. 3. 2 right here. So I'm just completing the storage room. It's time to do some nitrate farming as well. We got 2 days. 2 days to farm. 2 days to farm, baby. Alright, let's get back to this video.
Extremely rapidly. It's like the same thing with TikTok, right? The reason why TikTok is so successful is because it's all short form content and you can watch 600 TikToks in one sitting if you want to, right? So these people watching this content don't have to invest a shit ton of time in the video. They just kind of, watch it for 30 seconds and it's done. Another thing I noticed is like the cult classic kind of animation. Like I said, it's got the Gmod, the Half-Life 2 kind of vibe going on. A lot of the same kind of animation style / models and things that like we grew up with in our favorite games and animations and, you know, machinimas
No,
and
even-
whatnot when we
hold
were
up.
growing up, right? So
I'm a
pretty
fucking
recognizable
retard.
kind of
Where did
stuff,
this
right?
word
It's not like
from?
this is all just some random bullshit. And also another reason is simply because, let's be real, this whole thing is just catchy as shit. I mean, the song that plays throughout all of these is, like, mentally infectious. And I hate to say it, man, but I was cooking soup over the stove the other day, and I kind of caught myself subconsciously sitting there fucking skibbity button, yes, yeah, you know, like, I was singing along to this shit, and I didn't even watch that much of it, bro. Like, it's just catchy, it's short form content, and it's super recognizable. It's like the perfect storm for viral content, and that's what's helping push it so far. Now, there's, you know, a lot of people who enjoy this kind of content, they think it's cool, and, you know, yeah, maybe they are younger and whatnot, but I'm gonna be completely real with you, and you don't have to agree with me, but let's be real here. Like I said earlier in the video, we've seen a lot of content come along for kids on YouTube, right? Primarily for kids. Because, I mean, you can be an adult and enjoy this too, but it's definitely aimed more at children. But we've seen a lot of the kids' content on YouTube, and like I said, there's some legitimate degenerate shit that gets uploaded and promoted to children on this platform. I have younger relatives, and I've seen some of the shit that they watch on YouTube, and it makes me just cringe, man. Like, one time my little cousin, like, I walked over and she was like on her little tablet or whatever, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck is she up to, right? I take a look and she's like watching SpongeBob in like Iranian, and there's like a fucking Iranian flag on the video, and they have like guns and shit. It's just insane shit like that, bro. And fucking Spider-Man out here trying to kill people, you know, Elsa out here doing cocaine off of fucking whoever, you know, like, I don't know, man. Just like, there's some very horrible, depraved, disgusting shit, truth be told, that gets uploaded and promoted to kids on this platform. And when you compare that kind of content to goofy, skibbity toilet, stupid video, like, which would you really rather your kid be sitting there watching? Now, for me, I'm gonna be real, I want my kid watching something educational or like something that stimulates them a little bit mentally, but truth be told, kids like funny shit, dude. Kids like to, you know, watch funny videos or like goofy shit like this. I mean, it's not really some sort of like secret or some sort of like mind-blowing revelation, but it's just wild how much this whole skibbity toilet thing has actually taken off over the last like couple weeks, because I cannot recall even hearing about this shit even like a month ago, bro. Like beginning of June, if you'd have been like, hey yo bro, you seen the skibbity toilet videos on YouTube, I'd be like, nah bro, what the fuck are you talking about? But now, bro, like, it's just become so huge and it's blown up so much and it's getting all this attention that like it's damn near impossible to ignore, right? Like, just seeing this entire blow up, I mean, it's almost like this skibbity toilet trend has genuinely broken YouTube. Like I said, bro, it isn't normal for anyone to be able to get tens of millions of views in a matter of days. I mean, unless you're like Mr. Beast, who at this point is widely considered one of the greatest, if not the outright greatest YouTuber of all time. Like, yeah, he can get these view counts, you know what I mean? He knows how to break the algorithm or whatever like this, but the way this has just kind of come along and, like, just blown up, it's just crazy, man. And it just, I don't know, I don't really understand the, like, concept of people pretending they don't get it, right? Like, why this is blowing up. I can understand, like, if you don't know much about social media, you've never seen something like this, but, like, a lot of us have grown up with this kind of stuff online. Like, we've seen insane shit. I mean, even when I was, like, 14 or 15, where I was watching, like, MLG quick scoper edits, like the pyro cynical MLG edits and shit like that, bro. Like, stupid content like this has always been a part of YouTube. Like, goofy, silly content like this, it's not going away. If anything, it's gonna just continue to evolve, and this is just the latest rendition of it. But I just wanted to hop on here and talk about it real quick in the video, because it's just crazy to see this whole thing happening. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, while talking about the skibbity toilet trend and signing out.
Alright, I'll go better now. Let's do this. Ooh, baby. Ooh. Now I'm just trying to determine. I honestly might make a separate one for car engines. Of course, we could just sell the car engine. We don't really need to keep them. Put it in. I'll put it in parts. Maybe I should make it general. Advanced resource. Mm. Just got a really bad feeling. Very strange. This gonna be fun, boy.
Alright, what's going on, everybody? Well, this is going to be the last video I make on this topic.
Have you ever had a ranchera steak? They cook super quick on the grill, just about 90 seconds per side. Depending on where you are in the country, this could be a skirt steak or a flank steak, but more often than not, it is a double butterfly piece of sirloin flat meat, just like this here. This is obviously not your normal flat meat. This is sourced from full-blood Australian Wagyu cattle. Sirloin flat meat is super popular in New England because it's the main cut that we use for steak tips here, but it is rarely ever seen like this in this area. Once we cut this whole piece into ranchera steaks, you know we're going to cook one up too. Stick around. Cooked this super simple in a cast iron pan with some Tex-Mex seasoning on it. It was unbelievably tender, super juicy. You got to give these a shot. These are available right now.
If an alien like...
No more. No more. Getting distracted way too much. Closeness. Denial. Try again. Save the Earth.
Survive without water. In 1994, he found Mauro Prosperi is one of the longest people to survive without water. In 1994, he found himself lost in the middle of the Sahara Desert. A runner separated from his group by a sandstorm. Mauro was prepared for the worst.
This one. Disturbing truth about him. Disturbing truth about. Somebody stop me. Somebody's. Oh, jeez. Some Nick Crowley, yes please. That doesn't make me have schizophrenia.
September 7th, 2012. A 15-year-old girl uploads a video to YouTube documenting her ongoing struggle with cyber harassment and blackmail being done at the hands of an unnamed individual. Throughout the video, not a single word is spoken. Instead, the teen tells her story through dialogue written on paper cards, flipping through them one by one, painting a picture of the traumatic abuse she was living through. Just over 1 month later, she would be dead, as a direct result of that very harassment. The story of Amanda Todd is one of the most heartbreaking across all of YouTube, with the case sending ripples not only across the site, but across the world as well, with the fallout still being felt to this very day. And from this case, a light was briefly cast on one of the darker corners the internet has ever seen, momentarily illuminating a community that was never meant to be seen by the public eye, with a rabbit hole even more bizarre than anything we've covered on this channel before. And today, we're diving down to its very depths. Before we dive into this incredibly dark topic, I chose not to do a sponsor on this one as it just didn't really feel right. But if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon page that offers some exclusive benefits. For example, less censored versions of videos like the one you're watching right now. Or you can just go over and check out the new ghost hunting channel that myself and Expo started called Nick and Ryan. We've got a brand new video dropping at the end of this month and then a ton more already filmed and ready to go after that. So there will be lots of content coming very soon. Links to both of these will be in the description, and with that, let's get back to the video.
I'm gonna replace this dirt. Remember.
The story begins in the early days of the internet, a time when, due to the general public's lack of understanding of this new online world, moderation was at its most primitive, and nefarious activity ran rampant, with many of the worst examples coming from the dawn of live streaming. Back then, streams and their associated chats were almost entirely unregulated, leading to them becoming a cesspool of all sorts of degeneracy, and it's within one of these very sites where Amanda's torment would begin. It happened on a website called Blog TV, where Amanda had logged in one evening at the age of 13 to the tune of 200 viewers. It was here that she would be pressured to eventually flash the camera, with a whole chat cheering her on, a decision that she would regret not only in the moment, but for the remainder of her life. Lurking in the chat room was a man under the alias of Tyler Boo, who had been waiting for that very opportunity to grab a screenshot and recording of this young girl in her most vulnerable moment, before immediately turning around and using that image as blackmail in an attempt to leverage it for more private performances. It was a demand that Amanda refused, though truthfully it wouldn't have mattered anyway, as Tyler would turn her world into a living hell of online harassment, with a photo and video being sent to all of her friends, acquaintances, and family members. It got so bad that on multiple occasions her entire family would be forced to move, though this was of no use, as Tyler's evil crusade persisted. Every new school, every person she interacted with, would eventually be met with the content from that fateful stream. Amanda could never outrun him. With nowhere left to turn, she would take up drinking and drug use just to cope, until eventually, on October 10th, 2012, she just couldn't take it anymore. The story of Amanda Todd is a complex, tragic tale, with many factors ultimately playing a role in her untimely passing, with none being more prominent than her harasser. And with her video gaining immense virality following her passing, all eyes were on Amanda's case, with the big question being, who is Tyler Boo? A question that leads us to a particularly disturbing discovery, and today's main topic. As to unmask this abuser, we have to first recognize that he wasn't alone, but rather was part of one of the most bizarre and deranged communities ever uncovered on the internet. With Amanda's story making headlines, Canadian authorities quickly began work on their investigation, dedicating a team of detectives to unmask the man behind the Tyler Boo alias. And there, it's likely that they discovered that the crimes Tyler had committed were far more common than you would imagine. Back then, Tyler was what is known as a capper, someone who prowls live streams of young women and men across the internet, egging them on into performing some type of lewd act, and upon convincing them to perform said act, these cappers would then take screenshots or recordings, also known as caps, immortalizing the moment in an image or short video. For some cappers, this is where their involvement ends, but for many others, it goes much deeper. Once in possession of the caps, they will then use this as blackmail against the victim in order to further extort them, which is exactly what Tyler Boo had done to Amanda. And she wasn't alone. Back then, this kind of stuff happened on a freakishly regular basis, with hundreds, even thousands of cappers operating on a given night, with their list of victims being essentially immeasurable. Victims who had their lives completely and utterly destroyed by these malevolent outside forces that forbade them from ever speaking out.
Holy shit.
And these
Another
forces
game with
rarely
that.
operated alone. In reality, many of these cappers were closely intertwined within a community of individuals sharing this common practice, many of whom shared techniques, caps, and genuine online connections with each other. And as dark as this all may seem, their actual doings are somehow even worse than you could fathom. A fact that would only be fully understood and laid out on a silver platter upon the discovery of an internet-based program known as the Daily Capper.
Oh, there's something.
Happy Father's Day, Cappers and Camera Books. Welcome to the week in review of the Daily Capper.
The short-form program began its run here on YouTube back on June 20th, 2010, and continued airing weekly for over a year, with each episode having a runtime of roughly 5 minutes, primarily featuring this uncanny host and her robotic voice. And if she looks vaguely familiar, you might recognize her, or even the layout in general, as having come from the old HBO series Crashbox, an educational program made for children, which features an eerily similar segment called Distraction News.
Distraction News with your anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Good evening. I'm Doris Marmee, and welcome to Distraction News, where we give you the news and then ask you 5 questions about what we just reported.
But the Daily Capper was a much different show, as its creators stole the imagery from Crashbox and dubbed over it with this off-putting text-to-speech in order to tell the top weekly stories from the world of capping, with the channel's description reading, "The capping world is a world that is unknown and mysterious to some, but really there's nothing mysterious about it. The Daily Capper is here to report week by week what goes on in the capping world." The page is almost like a time capsule, preserving the wrongdoings of this otherwise obscure community, and putting it all out in the open. And because of this, investigators were understandably immediately drawn to the program, as it quite literally documented all of the highlights in the capping community, even discussing some of the group's major players and victims at the time that Tyler Boo had been harassing Amanda. And thus began their deep dive, and ours as well, to the Daily Capper. And what better place to start than at the very beginning?
Yeah, I need to label these. Actually, that's one
We
I
are
did.
halfway through the year, and what better way to spend 365 days than on your computer screen looking for camera books? Despite what others think, summer is not the time to go outdoors swimming, being with friends. Rather, it is a time for girls and boys to turn their computers on and get dirty.
The show opens on a jarring note, with its creator being so crass that some might mistake this as a work of satire. Though sadly, this is far from the case, which becomes evident after only a few minutes, when the tone is set for just how disturbing the Daily Capper is going to be.
These are some highlights from this past week. Nicole 34 went to Tiny Chat and exposed her 15-year-old. She was later heroed and blackmailed by Doc Holliday.
Throughout the episode, multiple stories are
Okay.
told about what the
Holy
capping
shit.
community had been up to, with the host referring to the accusation of these caps as epic wins, a common phrase throughout the capping community. A true indicator of the
It's
time
awful,
period
but
in
I
which the
can't
show
fucking help but laugh at
What
that
makes
one.
this all the more chilling is that each of the girls that have been featured on the show were minors, with the creator making sure to mention their ages, like a 15-year-old, and even a group of 13-year-olds.
Let's start with this past Thursday. Epic Win was delivered in the form of 4 13-year-old girls from Block TV Junior. Instead, all for a room of 300. A hero went on camp and streamed their video for them. These girls remain the most talked about girls in the capping world.
With these children bearing the brunt of the community's blackmail that week. It was all laid out in black and white. Not only did this one episode alone prove the existence of the capping community,
but it also showed us a glimpse into how they operate, who they truly are, and just how remorseless they can be. It's truly unlike anything I've ever seen on the internet. A group so clearly committing wrongdoings, yet so shamelessly airing it out. And I truly believe that whoever was behind the Daily Capper never meant for the show to leave their little bubble. With the very first episode alone, including callbacks and past references to the capping community, with no added context being given.
Block TV Jr. went to Tiny Chat once again. Doc, if you remember, she has been to Tiny Chat before. One thing that has not changed, every post Coke makes gets deleted or banned.
Showing us that A, the community had been around long before the Daily Capper, and B, that the viewers were expected to have prior knowledge of events from within the community, making it apparent that the program was made solely for involved cappers, which is likely why it comes off as so unapologetic, especially as the episodes go on, as things only devolve further from here.
That's fucked. That's super fucked.
Welcome, Cappers and Camp, to this special July 4th edition of the Daily Capper, and what a week it is.
Just 2 weeks later, the Daily Capper would feature a story about a 12-year-old who had fallen victim to a capper, with said capper turning around and using the cap as blackmail to force the girl into
Himself,
No, bro, come on. You can't be doing that.
on this site.
a move that was celebrated by the host, as the Daily Capper didn't just highlight the best caps of the week, but also the best instances of blackmail, with the host making it very clear throughout the program just how much he appreciated the art of blackmail. It's a whole different level of disturbing, yet somehow the show manages to one-up itself with ease every single week, as the ages of their victims dipped lower and lower, to the point where the host was highlighting a cap.
This past Friday, many pressured a 12-year-old black girl with her 8-year-old sister to seriously, an 8-year-old
taken from an 8-year-old child.
Garbage.
Which brings up a glaring note about this community. All the victims I've mentioned so far have been drastically underaged, and that's no coincidence, as virtually all the caps highlighted are mentioned to have come from minors, while those obtaining the caps were generally far older, meaning that a key pillar of this community wasn't just exploitation and blackmail, but pedophilia as well. And to truly hammer this point home, the host even refers to cam girls above the age of 18 as retired.
This is also the only place you can see Charlotte, her dog, and Panther moose. So I guess it's also a camp retirement home.
It's impossibly grim, and though I feel the examples given prior go a long way in explaining what the Daily Capper was all about, I think the host manages to encapsulate just how vile their own show was in this one little segment.
Now a lot of people wonder exactly what capping is really like. While it's hard to explain every aspect in such a short period of time, some people have gone as far as to describe it as an underground version of Girls Gone Wild. Of course, there are a lot of differences between capping and Girls Gone Wild. For one, there are no blackmailers on Girls Gone Wild. But then again, those girls know they're going to have their videos shared all over the world. While girls on the internet will cry when they get recorded, that is a huge difference between capping and Girls Gone Wild. Plus, they have to ask for permission before they use videos. And they have to be 18 or over. Complete opposite to what goes on here.
It's fucking incriminating.
By this point, it's clear that both the community and the host of the Daily Capper are completely irredeemable. And despite some attempts by the creator to project a more neutral stance by making disparaging comments towards the community and thankfully not actually showing, this was, in reality, just an attempt to slide by what little regulation existed on the site back then, and a feeble one at that, as in one case, the host even guides his community on how to obtain.
They got banned on Ustream and soon were blackmailed by Personique to deleting their account. If you want to know where you can get video, just message the person who blackmailed them via Shotty on YouTube.
And on top of that, all throughout the show, the host celebrates the depravity within their community. And not just in a figurative way, but in a literal one as well.
Huttenberg.
Starting from before their first program would even air, the Daily Capper hosted the Capper Awards, an Oscar-like program made to celebrate the community's accomplishments throughout the year, with awards being given for such categories as Campsite of the Year, Camper of the Year, Hero of the Year, and most chillingly, Blackmailer of the Year. This annual show first premiered on a separate YouTube channel back in 2009 and encapsulated everything wrong with this community. The arrogance, the deranged beliefs, the sense of pride. As just when you think this show can't get any worse, it goes ahead and does something like this. With the sheer size of this community being put on full display, as it was mentioned that over 4,000 votes were cast for just one category alone, at a time before the Daily Capper had even begun. And this wasn't a one-time affair either, as in 2010 the show would return, this time being made into a full program in the styling that we're now used to.
Welcome Cappers and Campers to the official 2010 Capper Awards voting video. Here we will go over the awards and the nominees. Blackmailer of the Year. This one is for the purpose of the internet.
Again, many of the same disturbed categories remained, with the most prominent being Blackmailer of the Year, which, following community voting, would be awarded to a user named Cody1206, who gained notoriety following his harassment of a young girl named Peyton.
Currently on Block TV Jr., the girl named Peyton is being blackmailed every day by her mom Cody1206. So, as usual with every blackmail, Peyton will give in to every request until Cody gets tired of her months from now and releases all her videos.
The situation sounds all too familiar to Amanda's, and not only did the capping community know the full extent of her torment, they celebrated it at an award show. And if this all wasn't bad enough, especially considering how Amanda's story would turn out, the host had this to say in a prior episode in regards to a young girl who suddenly disappeared after being harassed by this very community.
According to her Twitter, she ran away. Other sources have said she committed. Wherever she is now, we won't remember next week.
The parallels to the way this community operates and the story of Amanda Todd are extremely noteworthy. And it's not hard to see why investigators gravitated towards the Daily Capper being somehow involved in her death. After all, most of these cappers seem to be in a tight-knit group. However, there was one major reason for investigators to train their attention onto the Daily Capper, and it's a particularly devastating one.
Christmas Cappers and Campbell to the December 19th edition of the Daily Capper. Meanwhile, another girl from Block has been talked about a lot this week. Announcing Amanda.
December 19th, 2010, the Daily Capper would air a segment mentioning an up-and-coming target for their community, with that child being 13-year-old Amanda Todd. In the show, the host states that she was extremely active on campsites, and that she was being talked about quite a bit in the capping community. The ties to Amanda weren't just conjecture, it was proven right there in the footage.
She said she has been IP banned from Block TV and ended up moving to Wicked Camp Chat to sing like she usually does.
As coincidentally, the show just so happened to coincide with the exact time frame that Amanda's harassment had begun. She had been trapped by this community, grasped firmly in their clutches, and with the Daily Capper being so intertwined in this world of capping, it seemed all but certain that one of its members had been the culprit behind her torment. But who? Who was Tyler Boo? Well, despite investigators likely believing that they were close to their big break, while sifting through this disturbed online world, they actually wouldn't be the ones to break the news of this man's identity, and instead, answers came out of nowhere, in a twist that somehow makes this story even more bizarre.
Was the website out itself?
Dear citizens of our nation, we have brought this
Nice.
our works so
Anonymous comes in for the win.
and attacks Punisher's identity. You will fight in Varvale to the next rocks there. You will see various information about said person.
Before the police could even finish their investigation, Anonymous, the world-renowned hacking organization, would take it upon themselves to uncover Tyler Boo's identity, with their results finding him to be a major player in the capping community, a user by the name of Cody1206, aka 2010's Blackmailer of the Year. In the program crowning Cody1206, it mentioned how he abused a young girl named Peyton, a previously discussed victim who suffered similar harassment to Amanda, and with this notion, Anonymous dug deeper into the man, until they were able to prove that this same account was in constant contact with Amanda, and had supposedly been streaming her cap on this account for the whole world to see. And to add even more to Cody's rap sheet, he was supposedly already in the process of being charged with sexual assault on a minor. Anonymous had found their guy, and upon confirming this among themselves, they would publish this video including his full docs, with all of his private information being leaked to the whole world, with his real name turning out to actually be Cody. And just like that, the internet's #1 villain was unmasked. But there was just one issue. Anonymous actually got it wrong.
Really?
And when I say wrong, I mean they were completely off. As it turns out, the phone numbers and addresses belonged to entirely different people, and the birthday they provided for Cody was off by over a decade. And to somehow make it even worse, it would later be confirmed that Cody wasn't even Tyler Boo. And upon the conclusion of the official police investigation, it would be revealed that Amanda's harasser was actually a 44-year-old Dutchman by the name of Aiden Coben, a notorious online predator known to have almost 100 different Facebook accounts in which he used for capping, with the man racking up an extremely long list of victims throughout the years, including Amanda, who he had tormented constantly for 3 long years, leading to her passing. And though Cody did get caught in the crossfire here, I still have no sympathy for him, as he was undoubtedly a known capper in the community, and one of their most celebrated as well. And to make it even worse, it's believed that Cody and Amanda were actually friends, or at least Cody was pretending to be her friend, while at the same time, he was actually showing and sharing her caps regularly, meaning that he too was guilty for the harassment that Amanda was receiving. But despite this story being all over the place at this point, when it was all said and done, the case was finally solved, and some justice was served for Amanda, with Aiden going on to receive a prison sentence of 13 years. But that doesn't mean our story is totally finished, as whatever happened to the Daily Capper? Strangely, in early 2011, a full year before Amanda's passing, the show would come to an unceremonious end, with no real rhyme or reason being given. Shortly before this, it's known that the creator was dealing with issues on YouTube, likely due to improving moderation, causing the show to be kicked from the site and moved to other various websites like Dailymotion, where it can still be found to this very day. However, following the Capper Awards for 2010, it seems like everything just kind of stopped. And it wasn't just the channel that went silent either. Alongside the show itself was an associated website called thedailycapper.com, which featured recaps and updates from the weekly episodes, and even including what seems to be a monthly downloadable magazine of sorts, which included God knows what, with this website and its services also ceasing around this very same time. And on top of this, there was even a separate YouTube channel run by the owner of the Daily Capper called The Capper Cartoons, which included animated stories about well-known cappers. And strangely, this page also came to a halt without any given reason. One day it all just kind of ended, and we have no idea why. Perhaps something had scared the creator off, maybe they just moved to a more secretive location. But either way, the accounts have been dead for well over a year leading to Amanda's death, marking the end of the Daily Capper for good.
Or so you thought.
Or so we thought.
That's what happened.
Welcome to another edition of the Daily Capper. We just wanted to help provide a few more details to the recent Amanda Todd tragedy.
Out of nowhere, during Amanda's investigation, when the national spotlight was flashed on the long-defunct show, the Daily Capper would return for just a single episode to try and push the blame on Cody for the harassment of Amanda, as the show had aired right after Anonymous had dropped their video. But what makes this episode in particular so disturbing is the fact that it shows proof that not only had the Daily Capper interacted with Amanda, but also that Amanda had interacted with them.
As most of you know, we did a report on Amanda Todd during the time this tragic series of events began occurring. We are able to confirm the timeline in which this all began, as well as the background and information on those involved. There is one thing we can confirm about Amanda. On January 4th, 2011, she commented on our video report, in which she was featured, detailing how she was being blackmailed. She states that she did in fact contact the police about her situation. Obviously, they were of no real assistance.
In a bizarre attempt to clear their name, the Daily Capper aired a comment that Amanda had left under their video, where they had initially mentioned her as being a new up-and-coming target. And it was there she wrote, "It's Amanda here. I'm getting blackmailed and the cops are out looking for the guy that posted the video of me flashing to all my family members and friends. Because I didn't do stuff with him, I can. Put that in your news. People are also getting charged, but the site is shut down." The host would try to spin this in a way that blamed the police for failing to stop Amanda's harassment, while posing as the good guys in this situation. Though overtly, this only proved that the Daily Capper did in fact know about Amanda's torment, and did nothing until she was already gone. This would be the final episode ever aired of the Daily Capper. And with that, the creator and all his friends fell back into their dark corners, like snakes retreating into their holes, leaving the cabin community, which was once so public and prominent, to essentially dissipate. But what I find so frustrating is that even with the national attention this program received, its creator has still never been identified, despite them, in my opinion, having a clear hand in Amanda's death, by platforming and celebrating this community for all the horrible things they were doing. A community in which Aiden was most certainly intertwined with, as by the Daily Capper's own words.
You'd think anyone could be her blackmailer, right? Well, at this time, there was not a single blackmailer that the camping community was not aware of.
Many factors played a role in Amanda's death, and the Daily Capper was certainly one of them. And though I know this rabbit hole goes much, much deeper, and would eventually lead to the identity of this criminal, it's nearly impossible to explore anything past this without running the risk of encountering, which means that this is where my investigation ends. And though I'm confident that at some point the creator of the show will be unmasked, this is something that, for the time being, will have to remain one of the many mysteries of the internet.
Do it really though. Yeah, I'm gonna put headlight in cars. No, you pretty much get it every time you get a car. I don't know, but you can do, we'll put them in parts. We'll put these parts too. I'm gonna sit here and break them down. Ridiculous. Way too many. Sell for pretty penny. Let's see. I don't think we should be stacking parts that much anyway, so. Oh yeah, second round. Hammer flat. Hammer. Despicable human beings. Deserve death, honestly, but
The claustrophobic and just overall terrifying nature of the catacombs, those strange symbols and unexplained noises in the background have led others to point to more supernatural.
let's see. This is just
I've
evil.
said for a long time,
But-
Hollywood is an evil place. Not exactly a brave take, no one's gonna be gasping or have their jaw on the floor, but you might be questioning, Charles, how can you even say that? You yourself are a Hollywood superstar thanks to
Well,
your
yeah.
game-changing performance as District 8 hospital helper in The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Isn't it a bit hypocritical to say Hollywood's evil when you yourself were a large part of the reason Hollywood is successful thanks to reinvigorating public interest in cinema? Due to your exceptional acting as the District 8 hospital helper and single-handedly carrying the Hunger Games franchise on your extremely strong back, a back that's built like a Greek god in Adonis. If I was to lat spread right now, I'd look like a bat. The same franchise that's responsible for springboarding Jennifer Lawrence's career, but only because they cut out most of my scenes as the District 8 hospital helper because they overshadowed hers. And, of course, you're not wrong, my sweet sunflower, but it's because of this level of expertise with a performance like mine, District 8 Hospital Helper, which is still widely studied across all theatrical colleges across the nation, that I'm able to say with a high level of confidence that I know just how corrupt and evil Hollywood is from the inside. It is rotten to its very core. And it's extremely nice to see that most people are really waking up to how fucked up Hollywood is as an industry. Now, I covered the writer's strike when it started about 3 months ago now, almost 3 months ago, and I want to just give a follow-up to where things are at because it's not improved, and in fact it is only escalating. And now, it's more than just the WGA that's gone on strike. Now, SAG-AFTRA has joined the party as well and are striking too, and a lot of the actors are standing with the writers here. So it's really bubbling into this giant, witch's cauldron stew here. It's like when all of the characters of an action movie come together at the end to fight the big bad guys. It's just this big team-up moment. So all the writers are coming together with a lot of actors standing beside them in order to finally get what they deserve from the industry. For those that don't know why they're striking, it's actually pretty simple. I'm just going to boil it down to, the bare necessities here. Their pay is not what it should be for the work they do for these productions. Writers are invaluable to the industry, period. I know there's a lot of brain rot on Twitter that's arguing the opposite, and they keep using the example of, if writers are so important, why is there such thing as bad writing? Checkmate. They don't deserve to get paid more for writing like this, and then they'll drop an example of shit writing from something like Forspoken, which isn't even like a Hollywood production, but some of the writers that are in these unions are also working on video games, so I guess that's the point they're making. Actual little Neanderthal brain takes of, this writing is bad, so that all writers are useless. In fact, let me write it. It'll be 10 times better. And their only experience writing is fucking summer book reports in middle school. It's just a stupid take. Of course there's going to be better writing than others, right? But it doesn't mean that all writers are useless or something. It's just natural. It's the same thing with athletes. There's going to be some athletes that are better than other athletes. It's just one of those things. So yeah, there's going to be bad writing. Doesn't mean they don't deserve to get fucking paid for their work. It's just stupid. It's beyond dumb. Writers are one of the most important positions to any production, full stop. 100%. And their pay has not reflected this. They're not being fairly compensated for their work, and they haven't been for a long time. They don't have a lot of options in terms of royalties either. It's just very unfair to writers. And obviously the entire industry has been changing with streaming becoming more and more prevalent, and they're just falling behind on keeping writers adequately compensated. In fact, their pay has fallen, and they're not getting any real reasonable profit shares or splitting or anything like that. They're just not being paid fairly. That's the bottom line there with the first component of this strike. So they've been trying to have conversations with the top brass in the industry in order to rectify this, reach some kind of amicable conclusion so they can get fairly compensated for the work that they love doing and want to keep doing. But that hasn't really happened, so they were left with no other options except going on strike. And another big component of this is AI. As AI continues to evolve rapidly, a lot of the soulless money zombies at the top of the Hollywood food chain have taken notice and have recognized that if they start to integrate AI into their productions, they can save a lot of money by not having to pay writers' salaries or pay writers. They could just start using AI in order to get their desired result. It's cheaper, they have more control over it, and clearly the WGA as well as SAG-AFTRA, but pretty much all writers have a bit of an issue with that. So that was another one of their points, is they would really like if they didn't just fucking blast AI into the industry to try and phase them out. They don't want the AI trained on their works. They don't want any of their works to be used to try and develop some kind of AI model off of it. So those are really the big things. And this has been going on for about 3 months now, and the response from the big boys has not been positive. So according to reports, they are determined to break the WGA, and now by extension SAG-AFTRA, since they are also striking at the moment. So their in-game, according to the executives and the insiders here, is to allow things to drag on until union members start losing their apartments and losing their houses. They call it a cruel but necessary evil. This is par for the course for Hollywood. This really tracks. Anything evil that can be done, Hollywood does. So they're playing hardball here. They're not giving in to any demands. They're not budging an inch. They're saying, hey, might be a cold Christmas, and you might not be able to afford to have a place to live anymore, because fuck your demands. So they're saying, like, the strategy is simple. You bleed them out. You know, when they're financially strapped for cash and desperate, starving on the streets, then they'll come crawling back to us, groveling at our feet, and then we'll dictate some new terms that they won't be able to decline. But we're not giving in to any of what they want. Now, in a sane world, I would really think most people would be behind the writers, because, I mean, it makes sense. They're not getting paid nearly as much as they should for the work they do for these massive 9-figure productions that are raking in hundreds of millions of dollars, and the writers are the ones that like make the story happen, the most important part. Like, you can't just have a movie of fucking nothing. You can't go in there and just have like a bunch of noise, right? It's not TikTok. It's not you're going to the theater for jingling keys for 10 hours. You need a story still. The writers are integral, thus they should be compensated fairly for it. But we don't live in a sane world. We live in a clown world. So there is a ton of people on Twitter that are saying that the writers are unreasonable and that the executives are in the right here. The executives are the heroes in the story and the writers are the bad guys, which blew my fucking mind. The fucking goofball goober CEO of Disney, Bob, said that the writer is very disturbing to him, having a wambulance moment, some fucking French cries, going over like, I can't believe they're striking. It's so unrealistic. You're ruining the industry, guys. Why do you want more money? How can you be so greedy? Coming from a guy who's making $20 million a year annually, the writers are extremely important. And coming from someone like this with a salary like that, I don't know who on Twitter, who could read these stories and then start pumping their fists saying, yes, those are the good guys. Those are the heroes of the story, the champions of justice. The fucking soulless husks with unimaginable wealth that are exploiting their workers, fucking their butt with a smile on their face. It makes no sense to me because, again, most people on Twitter are either children or normal working class people, not multi-millionaire celebrities. So how can you, as like a normal working class person, be excited and celebrate that other working class people like yourself are being exploited? It actually just doesn't compute up here in my noodle how you reached that part of decay in your mind. Like, why wouldn't you want the workers to get paid more? Why would you want the wealthy executives to continue to nickel and dime all of their employees in order for them to make more tens of millions per year on their annual salary? Like, I don't get how, like, a normal person sides with them. Like, they're not going to give you money just because you're fighting PR battles for them on Twitter. Dumbass Disney CEO Bob's not going to find your Twitter account and start clapping for you. He's not going to just swoop in there and be like, you know what, Jacob? I am so glad you made this tweet. You're right. It is unreasonable and downright criminal that our writers want money. It does. Where did we all go wrong as a society? Wanting some kind of profit sharing or some other compensation? It is ridiculous, Jacob, and you are right. Here's $5 million. Give me your PayPal. It's not gonna happen. Like, and I don't know why you're blaming writers either. There's a lot of people getting mad at writers because now their favorite shows are being affected, so they're going on a Disney break because there's no one writing it. And now they're getting mad at the writers, like, just go back to doing your fucking jobs. When what they're trying to do is what every worker tries to do. Get paid fairly for the work they do. Like, I just don't understand who could be against that. I really don't. Honestly, I don't. So I just wanted to give you an update here because the writing strike is only continuing to grow here, and it's going to continue to grow until either they come to the table and start to negotiate, or all of the shows get drastically affected by the situation here. It's already affected a ton of productions, and it's only going to continue if they can't reach some kind of deal here or some kind of peaceful resolution or something. So just wanted to keep you updated on that because this is a story I actively follow, and yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess I gotta buy some water filters. For this, but some of my favorite writers, being like Nasu and stuff. I couldn't imagine somebody like Nasu getting paid little to nothing. That would be insane to think about, especially how much like fake earned order brings in. Crazy. Dare I say, psycho. I'm gonna assume there isn't a zombie that's gonna like come ruin my crops or something. So hopefully this won't go bad. Time to plant all those seeds. What seeds should I plant though? Definitely need to plant super corn. Yuccas. Put those down first. Then we'll go with hop. Plant this singular cotton seed over there. Coffee. Definitely want to plant the coffee. So I might put the regular corn down. Just any more single seeds? No chrysanthemum seeds? It's positive I had some. Just to make one seed? Not good. Well, okay, I still don't know what a hop is. Put that down. We'll just bring all these back. Where's the money at? Where's the money at? Where's the money at? Alright. Where's the money at? Alright. Hey, where's the money at? Recipes. How many does it take? Oh, it's like super fucking cheap. I think it's like 5 a thing, so definitely gonna sell that stack right there.
Oh, I'll do business with you long as you're not a thief. Got time to do some great. Let's get down to work then.
Actually buying off you that's not that. Maybe that might. I can get it later. Just water filters on. Only enough for one? Damn.
Well, it's about time you bought something.
I guess. Forgot I don't have the better bartering perks anymore or anything like that. Alright, picking up loot. No, it's got an ammunition crate somewhere. Just don't remember where. Oh wait, I remember that. Munitions. Damn.
You know, wait a
Where is Pyro? He has not made his daily slop today, as far as I've seen. Where is my daily slop? Damn! I could probably make it back in some. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. General resources that we don't need, perhaps? No. Weapons. Yeah, I'm gonna sell a couple of those. I don't need that axe. We don't need that shovel. We don't need that iron pick. We don't need that. Well, I'll keep the nail gun. I know it sucks for them when they have to build anything. Don't do it to me, man. Don't do it to me.
You still hanging around?
Ah, that was enough. You know, put me all the way back here. Pistol plate. Pistol plate. Living off the land. I should have went over this one. What do you even need to get this? Only level 5? Yeah, I should have went to it.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar, and China hacked the United States State Department and was looking at emails. You might be like, Muta, that's a big claim you're making. It ain't my claim. It's the U.S. government's and Microsoft. So I know we talk about a lot of hacks and everything, but this is straight up spying and straight up digital warfare of the highest degree. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll walk you through exactly how this happened. But for anybody that's out of the loop, basically emails, right? We all know what an email is. But we also have to understand that our emails are hosted by big tech companies. So even if you are the U.S. government, you probably have a contract with big companies like Microsoft in this case to run the entire enterprise email ring for people. We do it here in the office with Google.
That fucking terrified the shit. I was like, that's a tall zombie. He got some big arms on him. I thought that was like fucking Tyrone.
One other YouTuber that I know, maybe two other people. I think it's Mental Outlaw that does it, and maybe it might be Wendell from Level 1 Text. These are the only people that I think
thought it was like
who actually
Rocky
built
fucking Balboa
us
coming
three use
down
our
the
own
corridor. I was
cloud
like,
solution.
holy
If
shit.
it's one thing that you can't trust, it's big tech. It really is. Because generally, while things are safe, usually when there is a mix-up, a screw-up, so to speak, it's out of your control. You really do rely on these big companies that have billions of dollars to put into security, and even then, things do tend to falter. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. So China was accused by Microsoft and basically the U.S. government. So Microsoft says that a group known as Storm 0558. You might be like, whoa, that sounds like a cool SCP or something out of the Avengers or the DC universe. No, this is not a comic book villain. This is not an SCP. This is just a name that they gave for a Chinese-based agency that targets government groups in Western Europe and the United States, and it focuses on espionage, data theft, and of course, credential access. So there were some reports literally 2 days ago, and Microsoft actually began an investigation into what they call anomalous mail activity. For those of you who don't know what anomalous mail activity is, basically somebody opened up the Microsoft logs, the audit logs, for everything that happens on the server. Every interaction, every file change, everything. So in this entire list, it turns out the agencies have looked for client app ID and app ID and noticed that these things had actually run an event known as mail items access. Now, mail items access is about as simple as you can expect. Anytime that you go onto Microsoft's email servers, or really any servers, generally what it means is any connected client that accesses user items. So in this case, it was mail. Now, what was really wild about it is the engineers and the security researchers who were spending their night looking at this probably noticed that there was one or two accounts that opened up like 100 emails at like 2:30 in the morning. Now, that's the kind of behavior you look at and say, well, who the fuck is up at 2:30 in the morning flipping through their emails? Even if the activity was totally legitimate, I'm pretty sure the next day a security agent would come in and probably ask a couple questions. But in this case, it became more sinister, because it appeared that these people actually used forged tickets, forged validation tokens to come into these servers in the first place. Now, according to Microsoft, they literally had written that they actually found that all of this started from their investigation since May 15th, 2023. So, to understand, this has basically meant that whoever this group is, if they are a Chinese intelligence agency, has been in the servers for at least a month, if that. So, of course, at this moment in time, obviously you can imagine that when a rival country reaches into email servers, some email servers, in this case, there were approximately 25 organizations, including, again, those government agencies, and of course, related consumer accounts. When the rival country jumps in, that's scary, okay? That's like a level of espionage that could absolutely lead to war, absolutely lead to some serious discussions behind the scenes. Or in front of the scenes, who knows? But basically the way that this hack worked, according to Microsoft, is a forged authentication token, in fact, token. So you might be like, whoa, not stolen this time? Yeah, it appeared that they were forged. So according to Microsoft, they said that the threat actor exploited a token validation issue in order to impersonate Azure AD users. The attacker used an acquired Microsoft account key, so stolen, to forge tokens to access OWA and Outlook.com. Outlook, some of you might be using. I know I use it for email, so yeah.
Oh, lordy. That's beautiful. Oh my god. I'm just gonna put that in the hotbar. There's no reason not to have that. Oh my lordy. This is fucking awesome. Goodness.
double open, until ultimately giving them access to enterprise mail accounts, which is your business emails. You know, people that pay like a pretty penny to run, you know, their company's email off of their servers. However, Microsoft account keys for consumers and Azure AD keys for enterprises are each separate systems and should only be valid for their respective systems, according to the company. So again, they have no indication that those keys or other MSA keys were used by this actor. So it appears that Microsoft claims that all of this is like totally plugged up. In fact, according to them, they successfully blocked Storm 055A from accessing customer emails using any of those four authentication tokens. You don't gotta do anything, ladies and gentlemen. But as with any observed nation-state activity, Microsoft has contacted all targets and compromised organizations, because that's what you have to do. Now, you probably understood Microsoft is pretty much on the money when it comes to security and working with the feds, and that's because they definitely have a very, very massive security department, and there's no, like, shame about that. Obviously, this kind of a hack could happen to anybody. When it comes to nation-state hacks, like especially from China, Russia, or really any country, North Korea at this point, Iran, wherever you want to call it, a lot of these guys have talented computer engineers, talented hackers. And when it comes to an amount of resources, they're sitting at near infinite resources with complete diplomatic immunity. It's not as if these guys do really get caught and identified by the U.S. like three-letter agency, that China's just magically going to hand them over. 100% chance that some of these people are actually active military personnel in China, and they would never be turned over. But this also really begs the question about safety and how bad this actually really is. Look, at the end of the day, this is literally China peeking into our country's like email servers. Okay, literally peeking in and looking at the nitty-gritty secrets that we share to keep people like us protected, and so on and so forth, or some advantageous position we keep in the entire world. And again, that's just what every country does. If you think for a second that I'm going to sit here and tell you that the U.S. doesn't do the exact same to China, it probably happens day in and day out. There's obviously cyber warfare going back and forth. But one thing to question is this is literally on the cusp of like actually enticing warfare. Because at the end of the day, this is as much spying as you're possibly going to be able to do. This is as much espionage as you could imagine. So it really begs the question as to how much information the Chinese hackers ended up grabbing from the U.S. State Department. What kind of information did they grab? What kind of secrets did they dig up? And, you know, it really is something that I feel like a lot of politicians and people in the U.S. should absolutely agree for really getting people the good, you know, grasp of. And that's really where it comes down to. Now, according to Microsoft, they blocked the use of your token signed with the acquired MSA key and OWA for any further access, okay? Microsoft completed the replacement of the key to prevent the threat actor from using it to forge tokens. That's really good. That's plugging up the fucking loophole. Microsoft blocked use of your tokens using the key for all impacted consumer customers. Now, you might be wondering, should I change my passwords? Honestly, I think you should change your password like every 60 days. I know I do. That's simply because I could never trust whatever information gets leaked out into like some, you know, data leak somewhere on the dark web or, you know, somewhere here even on the clear web. So that's just standard practice for me, but it's one thing you have to really understand is in the last year or two, it really seems like the cyber espionage has like evolved to a level where like these guys are inside the most like secure areas, or what should be the most secure areas of the internet, for a goddamn month solid. So yeah, it is kind of scary, it is kind of wild, but I wanted to explain how this happened. Yes, the Chinese did in fact hack U.S. State Department email.
Actually, not that
And yes, that should sound as bad as I'm putting it. It's fucking scary. It's fucking terrifying. But ladies and gentlemen, it's just another evolving world in our digital media landscape. Every country is hacking everyone. And all I can really tell you is just take care of your data. That's all you can really do. Focus on your privacy, keep your security up to date, and if you do get hacked, hopefully try to mitigate as many losses as you can. Look, I just got hacked recently, okay? You see me sweat bullets? Hell no. The only sweat I'm doing is 35 degrees Celsius weather in Toronto. Can you imagine that? Insanity! But of course, you know, keep yourself safe, keep everything mitigated, and above all, you know, just use the internet responsibly. Anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like and dislike it.
stupid. I'm done. I'm stupid. Bye bye. Where's my ship? I don't know where it is. Ooh. I can make a bellows, right? Okay. Advanced bellows. Wood leather. Duct tape. Darn. I gonna be making no duct tape. Stone here. That's another one. Stone. Grab us this iron. Lead. See if the lead's ready to go back in. Accomplishment. Obviously, we're gonna turn that on into forged steel, sir. Forged steel, lead. I think it's done enough that we turn the bullet tips. Yep. Turn all the bullet tips. Keep that running. Stone. This one out. I wonder how well cloth burns. What's cloth been used for? Dogs, main thing. Small use. Heroes. Yeah, see how much it burns. 39 seconds. That's been worth wasting like that. Okay. What a fucking shit fuel source. I mean, at least it gives you the option, I guess. Let's see. We're gonna go. Yeah, one more day till it's Blood Moon Day. So I guess. Pickled. That's right, I said pickled. I think it's time we made some iron spikes. Sure. Iron spikes being disrupted. Let's see, electric wire relays. Does this actually work as a cooking apparatus? That's what I really want to know. It does require duct tape. Which on that note, I guess I'll have to make some water, I guess. Dang. Can't really make water, can I? That's a stupid thing to say. Let's find shit to sell so we can get these fucking water filters. The bullshit water filter. Alright. Do we really have 3 machine gun parts? Headlights are popular, I guess. Sell some of those. See armor. Get rid of those. Get rid of these. Get rid of those. I'll just leave my backpack just because keeps it nice. Get your military set. Get your mining helmet right there. Get your scrap set. Wait a second. Especially. There's no duplicates in there. Honestly, we're so fucking low on weapons. I actually just want a variety. So I'm not raping my ass when it does become, I'm gonna call it B-Day. give some glue. Is there another way to make glue? Hold up. Glue. Ear of supercorn. 5 bones, which is the way you should be doing it. You're using supercorn like you must understand. Better bartering. I'm gonna go get it. Just goes. Just for this one excursion. Demon of the Sands.
Speak quickly.
Headlights. Some good money right there. Right there, some good money. Yeah, the solar bank. Do be looking. Yo. We'll get out of that. That looks even tastier. Get some of those next time. Can buy an advanced bellows. Impact driver. I think the level 5 ratchet is gonna do fine. We pretty much do just disassemble them immediately. Oh. I can't get it. Let's go. That saves me a little bit. Got 1,000 left over. I can already tell right now I'm gonna need food here in a second.
I guess you're not so bad after all.
That is ironic as hell. That is super ironic. Fuck. You need duct tape to do it. Oh, shit. Well, at least I got some. Still so counterproductive. And just because it's going to bother me if they don't all reset at the same time, I'm going to pick these up. We'll wait for that one time. Can I like piss on it? Just give it a little, you know. Sounds easy. But Let's put them far over here because I'm not that constructing. Just pick them up afterwards. Alrighty. Looks like I'm trying to contact aliens out here. I'd love it. Is that again? Alright. Now, definitely putting this in. Make the bullets. Make the bullets. Interesting. Okay. That wings. Ooh. Don't know. Don't know. I'm never gonna be the same again. It's already... Actually, it's only just down turn.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, Mutahar, and China. Every day
Watch this video
we
and
partner
head
from
off
God,
with us.
ladies and gentlemen. Woo, how's it all going? Today we're going to talk about NPC control, okay? Now you might be wondering, whoa, Muta, with the title like TikTok live streams are weird AF. Let's just actually talk about what's going on here. Okay, TikTok is a very popular platform, short forms, okay? You got your dances, you've got a whole variety of dark content, you've got a whole variety of normal content. It's a broad spectrum, okay? Some would say TikTok trends have been responsible for taking lives. I would argue that TikTok is pretty much an AI attack on humanity, alright? There's a reason why TikTok is different in China than it is the rest of the world, okay? I'm pretty sure they don't want their kids getting dumb like ours. But ladies and gentlemen, talking about the wildest content today, I'm just gonna hit play on something. I'm gonna rip the band-aid off and throw you like right into the deep end, okay? Let's watch this one.
Coconut so good. Coconut so good.
It's so stupid.
Grab, 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 grab.
Whoa! Must felt like the longest 10 seconds, huh? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the new form of TikTok live content, okay? There are some nights where you can come across and see somebody go, woo, 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 ice cream. First I heard this was like ASMR related content, and then of course, like all things, I had to dig a little bit deeper. Because I know the ASMR community. This is not the ASMR community, ladies and gentlemen. The content you have witnessed has currently tens of thousands of people watching. In fact, in a more recent clip, the same individual has a digital cowboy hat, blonde hair, and a variety of goods to play around with. Now, if you're actually looking into the top right, that is no typo. I have not photoshopped this. That's 12,000 people watching this. You might be like, what is this content? Let me hit play again.
Thanks. Ice cream so good. Thank you, Lopez. Slay, huh? Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, 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 yes.
So, people in the comments are kind of questioning this too, even on TikTok, showing that there are people that understand cream. Now, if you're talking about, whoa, Muta, where's the ice cream? What ice cream in there. Now, if you look closely, my young friend Padawans, you'll find out that they've got roses and microphones. Almost looks like a dildo there. But they've got microphones, roses, and ice cream. These are stickers. The last time I saw TikTok stickers was back during the start of the Ukraine-Russian conflict. And there were people scamming and faking being Ukrainian. You know, fake air raid sirens just so they could get TikTok like roses. There were entire people putting up fake children with
Wait, it's
fake
today?
cancer diagnosis.
Oh,
Just
shit.
like literally fake IV drips.
Oh.
Just so they could get like sympathy.
I'm probably gonna go. Oh shit! Fuck. I mean, I think I'm. Hold up.
Likes and votes
I'm
from these
positive I'm
Truly
ready, but I don't know if I
fucking
fixed the
place.
base. I'm gonna make
Now,
sure
when I
to do
saw
that real
content
quick.
like this, it immediately put a smile on my face because I realized
Look, y'all can fucking hear me over Mudahar over here.
Art. See, these stickers actually cost money each and every single time you put us. Those 20 ice cream cones, they weren't just 20 ice cream cones, ladies and gentlemen. They were some paid-for ice cream. So for anybody that's not understanding, you can have that of any
Could
TikTok
do with a little
live stream,
fixing.
and you can
Could
see
do
right
with a
here,
little fixing.
whoa, they've got stickers, Muda. Now these stickers all come in different pieces. So for instance, roses are worth
Needs to
1.
be fixed.
Finger hearts are worth 5. A donut is worth 30, and a GG is worth 1. A lot of these streams
See
have
if we
like
can get
different
some cement going
you
in.
know, stickers and different coin requirements. If I want to feed this news channel a lollipop, it takes 10 fucking coins. Okay, don't question me. If I want to put a mirror up to somebody's face, 30 coins. Now, of course, I checked the forex rates for TikTok coins to Canadian dollars, which is about the closest I can get there. No, I'm not spinning up a VPN to give you the US dollar amount. You figure that out yourself. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you can see how 70 coins are worth $1. Okay? And then, of course, some sicko can buy 17,500 coins for $270. And, of course, the lowest you can buy is 30 coins for 47 centimals. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a wild world we live in. See, you get the coins, you put it in your TikTok account, and then you buy stickers. Now, there are also other streamers, and there's also other intellectuals that picked up on this amazing money-making strategy. But, of course, if you go back to our first example here, you can see the stickers they have for donuts, hand hearts, ice cream cones, High July. So, just looking at the ice cream cone, with 20 in a row, you've got like 20 actual cones being passed. And at the mathematical rate one can look at for if you watch these live streams for 5 minutes, some of these people are raking in almost 100, sometimes over $100 worth of donations just by acting like an NPC. So to show you the NPC fetish, it gets even wilder. Okay, we're gonna watch another example. This is Cherry Crush, who is a larger streamer. 7,300 people are watching the stream. This is wild. Okay, get ready for this one. You might need to put on the cringe face mask. Okay, we're about to enter the fucking hardest layer of Tarkov in the world. Okay, get ready
Gotta
for
put
this.
those metal spikes on.
Purchase corn. Kitty paws. Pumpkin,
Oh man, that was I'll tell you what, that was a hard 15 seconds right there, man. I felt every part of my life leave my body. Ghosts, come back to me, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that was another example of NPC fetish content. And I think this is some of the smartest live streaming material that I've ever seen. See, it skips over all the pretentiousness of a live stream. Usually people donate to live streams to get their names up on like the screen, or maybe have their favorite streamer acknowledge them. This is both in one shot. All you have to do is throw literal food at these individuals on live streams, and they will consume it on camera. There are people in the world that are starving right now, and at the same time, there are people on TikTok throwing fake ice cream cones to be fake licked by influencers, all for just the sake of entertainment. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is probably one of the coolest things that I've seen. You know, and again, I have no issue with this because last time I saw any donations on TikTok Live, it was from actual scammers using children for fake sympathy and people pretending to be in a hot zone. This, by comparison, is like the Garden of fucking Eden before the apple got swallowed.
This is all good and gravy to me. And if somebody wants to donate hundreds of dollars so somebody can digitally eat marshmallows and put on a cowboy hat, then that is their God-given right to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, is all I can really say. There's no real difference between watching a live stream here and something on like Twitch, YouTube, or Kick, in my opinion. So yeah, this is like where TikTok live streams are. I would say this is like crater to the bottom of the earth level of content, but at the same time, I kind of respect the hustle over here, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, this is something that I witnessed, and I was like, this can't be real. I even have to go on the internet, Google NPC control fetish, which, look, at this point, what is my search history, okay? Alright? Why? What is wrong? Just rate me already, okay? Come on now. What is TikTok's viral NPC fetish? Goes to Dick Sturdo. Regardless of how you feel about it, the content is already proving massively popular. Tens of thousands of viewers are tuning into their live stream, and I actually can see why. You know, again, like I told you, this gets past all the pretentiousness. As soon as you give live interactability, like literally on the second, that's all people really want. I think a lot of people tune in, they load up like $10 worth of credit in their TikTok account, and they just sign up to random streams and throw them at individuals on the internet. All just to see a tiny, tiny bit of interaction. I think a lot of people find this cringy, but I think it absolutely hits at the core of what like a live streaming culture is about, and the interaction between the streamer and the fan watching. This is kind of literally the equivalent of throwing literal nickels at somebody, but in this case, being that you're on the global village, those nickels add up real fucking fast. So congratulations to the individuals here who've discovered a new form of content, one that is far beyond my scope of understanding, but one that I can wholeheartedly respect when it comes to making a crap ton of money on the internet, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's what TikTok live streams are about. Wild world we live in, man. But if you ever thought that being an influencer was difficult, you just gotta be innovating, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like if you didn't like it,
Are they yellow? Okay. Honestly, I'm just gonna leave those. I kind of deter them. I can't stand this. Now another one. These windows. Normal? Yes, abnormal. Oh, that kind of block. But alas, I do not have cobblestone in my inventory. Oh wait, I can make it super easy. Fucking retard. wait to do this. So I take a minute. Oh damn. Fuck off. You dumb bitch. Where's you all at? Attacking me from multiple angles. Fuck you. Bitch. I don't know what it is about these windows, but they do not like them. But, I mean, they got the same block health, so I'm thinking that. Oh. Oh wait, I think that one's useless. Yeah. Let's see, we'll... I'll reinforce the top. Sure, I'll get the resources for it. That third layer is taking a little bit of a beating. And the trapdoors very nice. Honestly, I should lift that up there. The cats were pretty nice. See that right there? I don't understand how that happened. Adrian could have just fired like a breacher around the doors, I guess. Oh, that's two of them. Probably won't do the Blood Moon tonight, but definitely gonna get right up onto the prep page. I'm gonna go ahead and bring all. I'm gonna bring. I say it. How many 9mm rounds we got? Yeah, that's really not worth bringing. Bring the turret. I'll probably switch back. Honestly, I might go use the Forgive Me Not to spec into something else again, actually. No, I'll probably go back to intelligence. Let's see. Do we have any explosive bolts? Nope. Let's see. I'll grab the grenades. Grab all the assault rifle ammo. Yes, please. Don't need bows. Take that. Take that as well. Don't have a shotgun. Let's see. Take the stun baton. Okay, I guess that's really it. Get the spike traps and set them down. Get ready. Wait, what was the one? It was intelligence where you get trap damage, right? I mean trap XP. Which one was that? Or is that its own thing? Now, which one is it? What the hell? Advanced engineering. XP from electrical trap kills. Doesn't even matter. Okay. So I just need to focus the big boys. I almost forgot medical stuff. Not a big well. Bring one of those just in case. I will bring a couple sewing kits. Put that in my inventory, so I'll probably forget to grab it. Food. Now here's the problem. Oh, that's a good potato. The food prices is not looking good. Oh, there is a bunch of food in that thing now. Yeah, I'll go there real quick. Fucking shit. Where? Where the fuck are you? You're getting in my way, lady. Nice. 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 Very nice. 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 How many you got? Alpha at different age. That is unfortunate. Show close to. Damn. Alright. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. Why is it? Very weird. Keyboard to be acting up. wire here, kind of, aren't we? Bring this food. Eat this food. Toss that around. Chest that I'm gonna set up on the second floor. In this end building. Well, I could set a gun safe, but no, I ain't got time to build one. Fuck you. Actually, you stand there. We'll set up these spikes, I'll hop off, and as soon as I get back on, I'll stream the Blood Moon. Not you worry. We'll get to see all the action, my good friends. Four should suffice. Now, they did like to hug this wall last time. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Okay, well it works. So, they kind of like to hug the wall where the stuff is. I mean, the windows and shit. It's very strange, but that do be how they do things. This whole corner's probably just gonna be spikes. But now that I made this entrance, I have a feeling they're gonna hug this one too. No need for a break. Just go right up here. Destroy that. Alrighty now. I'll make a little safety rail. That makes me uncomfortable that there's one here already. What? A Barbarossa? Shit. That's a good question. Why is it up there like that? What? Oh fuck. Shit. We're already fucking ready. We didn't even know it. Shit. Oh fuck me. That's hilarious. I'm not upgrading you. Just in case there's any exploders that somehow damage the brute. I didn't even know this shit was up here. First mine. This is pretty cool. I got wood in here. Put some shades in there. Alright, we're gamers. We're gaming. That also means I got 2 robots to put down now. Which is gonna be nice. We'll go ahead and switch out of the... Probably just, I'll still use the AK though. Just cause, you know, I'm fucking retarded. Yeah, I can do that. Put that up. Definitely gonna reinforce those though. Honestly, just gonna put the rifle in there. Kinda lonely now, isn't it? It'd be fun though. I'll get through it. Need to use that now. Alright, time to max this entire intellect tree once again. Got 11 more skill points. Probably go into machine gunner. If I get 1 point, I'll go into machine gunner. Alright. Yeah, we're not gonna do it tonight. I know. Cutting the video short, but when we come back, we'll be nice and energized, and we'll be doing the good. I call it the good because we're gonna be doing good. Alright, I got that in order. put some ammo on there. Refill that one. I didn't even think about where I was gonna put these. Right here? They can shoot down there? I'm gonna guess that they can shoot down there. Actually, if I'm gonna do that, I might as well just... I could just toss it down. Probably not a good idea though. I want to put them down. I'll put them down when I get back. Alrighty. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll be back in the morning.